And we welcome you to the Memorial Coliseum on homecoming for IBFW in 2006. I'm Dean Fantazzi, he's Ryan Elijah. Maybe a little subtext on this thing more than anything else. An Indiana State team coming in here on the biggest game that IBFW will play at home all year this year, with a little bit of revenge on their mind.
Yeah, Dean, this is what they call the signature win from last year when they went down to Terre Haute, beat a team that had just beaten IU not long ago. Obviously, Indiana State remembers that. Only 3 guys back starter-wise, so it's going to be an interesting match. I expect a real good game today between 2 teams that really want to win badly.
Well, IBFW wants to win this game at home. They're going to have a big crowd here, football notwithstanding. But you got a situation here. They come off the win against Rochester. Yeah, they won it big, and yeah, they were impressive, but okay, it was Rochester, and I hate to put that situation down, but this is quite a step up in talent.
Well, I'm sure that was one of Dane Five's first phrases to these guys was, you're not playing Rochester today. It's an Indiana State team that played IU very tough in the second half, and that's the team they got to contend with today.
Well, and ISU comes in here off 2 very good performances, a win over Western Michigan at home, and a game they probably could have won at Indiana last Friday night, and I was impressed. I'm sure a lot of people saw them out there.
I think we saw the better half of the Indiana State team in the second half, and they're going to have to come in and continue to play good defense. That's one thing that's concerned Dane Five is the shooting percentage. We'll see how that works out today.
ISU is a motion offense team. They are coached by Tate Slock, who used to be an ISU or Indiana University assistant, so it's going to be very, very similar. Very interesting game coming up. Indiana State and IBFW. We'll be back with more in a little bit.
That boat was all right.
You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales, you're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Life is good, but with a master's degree from IPFW, it could be even better. You could land a promotion, earn more money, become a leader in your field. And IPFW makes it easy. With affordable tuition, night and weekend classes, and more than 20 graduate programs from business to education to public affairs and more. Become the master of your future. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. Your graduate university.
It's IPFW Mastodon Basketball, live from the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum. Brought to you by College 5 Sports on My Network. Digital broadcast 33.2, Comcast 252.
And we are set to go.
That'll get you in the mood for some basketball right there, for sure.
Absolutely. A great effort on the national anthem, and a good crowd in here, considering this is a Sunday afternoon when both the Bears and the Colts are playing.
Yeah, that's right.
This isn't a bad crowd.
And this is going to be the biggest crowd the Dons have played in front of it to this point. And, Dean, a big thing we talked about, a guy just sitting to our left, Cole Holmstrom, a good incoming freshman from Indiana State that will not play today.
He apparently suffered a stress fracture. They're not exactly sure when it happened. They think it might have been in the Western Michigan game, which means he played with it.
He's a
against
kid from
Indiana.
Bloomington. Right there he is. And his dream is to play in his hometown.
So stress fracture was not amputation.
Yeah.
He was going to play
that
in Bloomington.
Is one tough kid.
But I'll tell you, in talking about the pregame scouting report and what the keys were to the game, he figured into a lot of the things that the Dons were going to do. There you have him right there. There's Holmstrom. He has been out trying to make sure that everybody knows that he is with them in spirit if he can't be with them with his 3-point shooting, and he was their leading 3-point shooter coming into this.
Just as a freshman.
So apparently with him out, it will again go a little bit more to Gabe Moore, their point guard, to create things because he is capable of doing those things as well. He was a very big part of the comeback against Indiana when they cut it from like 22-2 in the second half. So let's see what comes around with that.
Yeah, and at the Division I level, that is the nice thing that Royce Waltman has is you have so much depth. Obviously, he wants him on the floor, but there's a guy to step up, and IPFW in no way will think they're getting off easy. They'll have to change some things, but this is a team I think that's very similar to Valpo in teams of talent. Just a hard-nosed team they're going to face today.
And we see the starting lineup for the Dons being introduced. Quint Carruthers with a big part of the and plan tonight, as Quentin Carruthers is a big plan of it every week. And every time they come out, Chris Perkins, big moment for him is because I would imagine he's the one that's going to get Gabe Moore in the matchup, so that will be a big thing. The interesting thing about this, DeWitt Scott was supposed to be the guy that was going to be guarding Holmstrom. So what this would now free Scott to do is be able to pay a little bit more attention to his offensive game, because you know some of that would have had to be sacrificed.
Absolutely.
You had Justin Hawkins coming out there, and then you had Tyler Best coming out there. One of the key things that was mentioned to me by assistant coach Tony Jasic in the pregame, that Travis Best is a very big key here in that he must make the bigs for Indiana State guard him. He must make them work so that they are not able just to sag everything out and just negate anything else.
Because remember the last game, Dean, against Rochester, Hawkins and also Best by halftime had no points and 2 rebounds. They want to get those guys involved early, and if you take a look back, 54-46 was the final real low-scoring game when these two teams met last January in Terre Haute. I think we'll see a similar game, maybe a little high-scoring. Neither one of these teams are going to push it full throttle.
All right, Gabe Moore will start at the point for Indiana State. Russ Trudeau at the 2 guard in place of Holmstrom. And the 3 forwards will be Todd McCoy, Trent Wirtz, and Jay Tunnell. So we will see what we will see as the Sycamores and the Mastodons get to it here at the Coliseum. Again, the Sycamores very mindful of what happened in Terre Haute about 11 and a half months ago. They want to change that big time. So it'll be Wirtz and Best to tip it, and the Dons get the tip. Perkins will bring it up as we are underway at homecoming night, afternoon / whatever.
Sycamores coming out of their man-to-man defense. Both teams will stay with that most of the day.
Carruthers picked up out there by Trudeau. Gets to Best. Best trying to back his man down. Kicks back out to Carruthers. Back inside the Best. He'll roll. Cut in there. They're sagging at him very nicely.
Good help.
Gets back outside. Carruthers. Here's Scott for 3. Back of the rim, no good.
Good looking stroke.
And nice effort to give the rebound. And I believe that Quentin Carruthers actually made that happen. He went up and got it, and actually went off of one of the Indiana State players and out of bounds. And in all honesty, from our angle, I thought Q had touched it, but apparently so does Royce Waltman. Here's another one by DeWitt Scott.
And that's what you want out of your shooter. Who cares if you just miss? Fire it up again.
And they work that inbound play to perfection. So Scott puts the Dons on the board with a 3-0 lead.
Picking up right where he left off against Rochester the other night. Dean, the guys to watch here, Tunnell, the big men, and Wirtz inside, both really solid. Not gigantic in terms of size, but they really hurt IU the other night, and I think they're something they've got to be concerned about today as well.
Yeah, to my mind, Moore is the biggest thing I would worry about. He makes everything happen. Here's a little bank off the rim by White that's good.
He's a good player.
Wirtz. So it's a 3-2 game now with the Dons in front. Perkins picked up by Moore. He is really lightning quick. They're going to really have to watch him on both ends of the floor. Perkins to the right side. It's a little stop and go. Kicks back outside. Hawkins had a shot. Now Q does have the shot, and he missed everything. The rim-wise, he got the backboard.
IPFW 3 shots, all 3 of them from behind the arc.
And Moore brings it up. Wirtz, top of the key, guarded out there as Best comes out to guard him. McCoy. Moore between the rings. Nice pick. He kicked it back outside, and now into the lane comes Trudeau, and his move to the corner is called for a palm.
They've been calling that much more this year. It's one of those points of emphasis, and you've seen it if you watch college games. At least one or two times a game they've called that.
So Best will inbound. Dons with the 3-2 lead, about a minute and change into the game. Going to be a little more deliberate with this possession as Perkins gets it over the timeline. Moore out on him. Bounce to Scott. Brothers.
You'd have to think they want to go inside here.
And Quinn spits, and then he kicks it back outside. Now here's a shot by Perkins. Rim no good. Rebounded out of there. And that's McCoy to grab it. Tries to get it ahead to Moore, and it is stolen away by Perkins, and it'll be a jam for Clue.
Just a great job of defending by Perkins, and he's really stepped up his defense the last couple games.
I'll give the little thing to part of it that I think ISU was just a little sloppy on the possession.
Yeah. Well, you talked about in the game plan with Dane Fife, they like to shoot in that first 10 or wait till the last 10. Very deliberate if they don't get the initial transition.
And now we have a foul on Carruthers going over the back of McCoy. So that'll be the first foul on the Dons, and ISU will trigger with Moore underneath his own basket. Dons 5-2 leaders here, 2.5 minutes in. And Moore to trigger. He has no opening. Finally gets it outside, and Wirtz picks it up. Guarded there by Hawkins. He comes into the lane. Short jumper. Rim's no good. Best with the rebound. Dons want to move it up. Perkins. Moore has him. Best. Carruthers left side. Worked on there by Trudeau.
Short of the
Q
dunk,
between his
IPFW
legs.
has not taken a field goal from inside the arc yet.
Well, that's not unlike what we've seen already from them in the first
They like to
two
throw 'em up.
opportunities we've seen. Perkins the trigger, 22 on the shot clock. No cutter. Carruthers looked open. He still doesn't have anybody in. They're going to get called. He better get it out. He didn't get it done. He didn't get it done. And that does not make the coach happy at all.
No, that'll get Dane Fife on the floor. That's the one frustrating thing. And you actually, you like to see a timeout there, but someone's got to get open. You've got
somebody's got to move.
Yeah, really token defense from Indiana State.
Yeah.
I don't know that they did anything special.
Awful easy to defend people when they're not moving.
Yeah.
So Indiana State down 5-2, and Moore walks it into the forecourt, comes left side, wheels on Perkins, still has it. Looks into the lane, has a nice give and go. Wirtz gets it dropped.
Nice little back door.
Beautifully. Actually, he almost went through the front door because he went through a bunch of guys right in the lane.
So Wirtz has got all four for the Sycamores.
That was a tough pass to make work, too, and they made it work to perfection. Perkins gets a screen from Hawkins, kicks it back from Hawkins. Hawkins will try the triple. Got it.
Good stroke from outside for Hawkins.
He's got that shot. He's always at it. You remember his Garrett days. He could do it there. Moore. As Hawkins is knocked to the ground,
he
and
went
he's
down
hurt.
pretty hard.
And he hit his head, and we're still playing
They're
through.
going to have to stop playing.
Tunnel hit the shot, and they let Hawkins just sit there and writhe, and I'm kind of surprised at that.
Well, and you called it, Dean. He got run over, but I think it was when he fell and hit his head
He hit
on
the back of his head, and he's gathering himself right now, and Dane Five has indicated to the officials he got cleared out. And Dan Fox,
right
the
there's
trainer,
the contact.
There it is.
Really hit his head hard.
He looked like he had position. He's trying to. I tell you what. Have you ever had a concussion? Or something like that?
It's not pleasant.
Yeah. And right now there's a little ringing buzz going in his head as to just what is going on. And Dan Fox is doing his trainer duties to make sure Hawkins, who is one tough guy, is going to be able to go. And I would guess he is not.
Well, and Dan Fox has certainly dealt with a lot of different athletes, and he'll tell you that the head injuries are some of the toughest to deal with. If it's a kid's knee or ankle, you understand with, but a head injury, he's going to have to make sure that he's not in a concussion state right now.
Well, and even if any suspicions, they'll keep
hold
him out of it. Zelko Egerick comes in and replaces him, and we're playing back in.
That would be a big loss for the Dons if he's not able to come back.
Yeah, and Zelko was busy sending a screen, and he didn't see the pass, and now we're going to have an easy shot in here and a dunk. Oh, they laid it in. Wirtz did. I thought that was Dunk City coming. But Zelko was looking to set a screen.
I think he was so surprised what an easy bucket he was. He couldn't. Yeah, Zelko just didn't look like he was expecting the ball there, and DeWitt Scott wasn't either.
Tie game at 8. Perkins to Zelko. Egerick into the lane. Moves nicely. Kicks back outside with a pretty move to Carruthers, but the shot is off the back of the rim and no good, and Indiana State's back up with it with Moore. Up the right side. Gary Johnson set to come in for the Dons. Back outside, Wirtz. Looked like he almost traveled, but he kept that pivot foot down. Here's the bomb up and away by Moore. That's no good. Rebounded out of there by Tennell. He bows outside to Trudeau. Back inside, Wirtz. Can't get it with a loose ball, and it is Scott to pick it off for the Dons, and they'll come up with a tie ball game at 8.
Yeah, nice job of defense by the Dons. You can see Moore creates a lot with his penetration. Really a quick guard.
Perkins between the rings. Bad pass. And they almost ran over us that time.
About knocked your water over.
Well, fortunately, I had the cap on it. Otherwise, we'd have been in big trouble. Egerick to Carruthers. Carruthers into the lane. Kicks back outside. Scott for 3. He got knocked down, and he still knocked it down.
Well, I tell you, there's not a guy stroking it better, I think, in the state of Indiana than DeWitt Scott right now. But Denny's limping when you see him come down. I don't know if he's got an ankle injury or DeWitt Scott clearly is not running.
Well, he got bumped down here. He landed on a hit.
He is not moving well.
He's not doing well right. Now here's Best spinning in the lane. Has no open. Nice feet underneath. Egerick back outside to Scott. Looking inside, that's Carruthers. Now to Best. Give and go to Carruthers. Games at home.
6 minutes in, he's already got his second dunk, and that'll get the crowd of a couple thousand on their feet.
I'll tell you what, it almost looks like DeWitt Scott is shaking off that thing as he plays.
I think he's going to have to come out. We'll see.
Well, he's not looking that injured. Here's Moore. Scoop pass beautifully inside.
That's what he does so well.
And that's the finish for Tunnel. And that's a 13-10 lead now for the Dons as the lead is cut to 3.
Moore is going to draw guys to him because he's so quick, and you got to stop him, and that's where his teammates will get an open bucket.
Tunnel got his 4th point on that bucket, and we're at 13-10. Carruthers looking inside, now got into the lane himself, goes back outside, and I think he got bailed out because he was going in the no man's land and got called. A foul was called, or was it called on the Dons? Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be on Moore.
It's going to be on Moore, but we have an official's timeout. The Dons lead 13-10. We'll be right back with more Mastodon basketball action right after this.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's what life's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Join head coach Dane Fife on College Fife for the Dane Fife Show, featuring highlights and insights on the Mastodons from the coach and his guests. Mike Maas hosts the show on Wednesdays at 7, Fridays at 7, Saturdays at noon on College Access Channel 5.
Dean, we recognize number 3, and for as well local fans as well, Adam Arnold, the guy that started and had such a good run at Belmont and really had an injury-plagued freshman season, but started 6 games, and he's the guy they like.
Well, he spends about 25, 26 minutes on the floor, and we were told that usually at the first stop he's in there. And now we have a whistle on the inbound. And he's not the only one that came in on that timeout.
I think they're going to get Stinson, who has been in the game all of 1 second.
Enrico Stinson. And the Dons will trigger. Egerick, top to Perkins. He'll try from 17. Front of the rim, no good. Rebound on the floor.
Oh, good hustle.
Stinson, and he is fouled by Perkins.
IPFW's gotten some good looks, and I think, Dean, you talk about 7 minutes in, they've really had a pretty good start to this game. I think Fife would be pleased to this point, other than obviously the injury.
Well, and I would also give some kudos to Indiana State because they're playing without their biggest outside threat, and they probably have had to retool their game here.
And coming off a real emotional game at Bloomington. It takes a lot out of you to play. Obviously, that's their big game of the year for them until the tournament.
Don's still up 13-10. Cross-court pass almost got away from Stinson. Now it goes in the corner to Moore. He comes out, back to the ring, so almost slid on the
IPFW's going to a zone. We have not seen that in the
and we have a turnover. And Perkins is into the forecourt. He doesn't have the number, so he'll hold it on up on the left side. Yo-yos it out, gets a screen from Zelko. Crosses out now to Jakari Johnson. Inside on the baseline, Zelko with a nice move.
Good, strong move. Averaging 14 a game, just a few games in. And, we've seen most of his damage from outside, but clearly that's where they want him.
He's doing a much better job of smelling the basket and doing positive things toward the basket with it this year over last, and even in the early parts this year.
Yeah, IPFW in a 2-3 zone, which we have not seen from Coach Fife, but he feels against this team, especially with Waltman out, it makes a big difference.
Norman Wells is also in the game for the Dons. This is Arnold back outside to Stinson. He'll try it. That rims out no good. Rimmed out of there by Arnold. No, not Arnold. It should say Wirtz. And we have foul? Or somebody on the end line?
I think they're going to give it to Indiana State.
It looks
underneath.
like they're ruling the Dons were on the end line. They might have grabbed it and then we're sitting on that end line, and that does not work. Now here's Arnold. His ball fake, comes into the lane, loses control of the basketball. It's loose, and on the move into the backcourt. Stinson makes a nice save, almost a step or two extra.
Now they won't reset the shot clock.
No, there was
so
no
Indiana
shot.
State on a
there was no change of
quick
possession.
trigger here.
That was sort of like neutral possession.
Yeah, we'll see if they realize that or not.
And
that doesn't matter.
Because we have palming the ball by Stinson, and the Dons will pick it up.
Yeah, second time we've seen that call today already.
And the Dons will have it on the turnover. And Royce Weltman not happy right now.
No, he doesn't like those calls.
Not at all.
They've seen 2 of them already from the same ref. Dons need a good possession here.
Here's Perkins who loses the ball. And there's that quickness of Moore that I talked about. A nice reversal. That kid's a big-time player.
He is a solid point guard, and he'll do it whether he's scoring or not, and obviously can do it with his defense.
And Perkins has just got to be a little more careful with the basketball. I don't think he's dealt with anybody that likes Perkins.
No, he is a legitimate
all year.
big-time Division I point guard.
Zelko for 3. Oh, that's way short. And Stinson grabs it off the ground, and Sycamore's look to get the lead back within 1 or even get a chance to tie with a triple. And here comes DeWitt Scott, and that's a good sign. Here's baseball in line. Wirtz trying to save it before he goes out of bounds. They have a whistle, and it'll be a foul on the Dons that will give possession to Indiana State.
Indiana State just shooting 67%, but Royce Waltman's seen enough for right now.
Yeah, he's going to take a timeout, and he is going to take 30.
Yeah, he should get the full TV, I'm guessing.
Well, wait a minute. What are we going to do here? They're going to get it explained to us. Oh, look at this. Will be the media timeout. So with 11:56, they just saved him a timeout.
It's a free timeout. He'll like that.
So the Dons lead at 15-12. We'll be back with more Mastodon basketball action right after this.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best.
And make you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Join head coach Dane Five on College 5 for the Dane 5 Show, featuring highlights and insights on the Mastodons from the coach and his guests. Mike Moss hosts the show on Wednesdays at 7, Fridays at 7, Saturdays at noon. College Access, Channel 5. Dons lead it by a score of 15-12, 11:58 to go here in the first half. Indiana State has committed 6 very costly
They've
turnovers.
shot themselves in the foot, Dean. I mean, 6 from 9 from the floor, and you're still behind, and that's what turnovers will do.
Well, they've been a little sloppy. There have been some calls that Royce Waltman would not tend to agree with.
No, he wouldn't.
But he has been around the business long enough. Says, you're on the road, that's what happens.
Yeah, and he was very calm in that timeout. I was kind of leaning my head in there, and he obviously wants his guys to do things a little bit different. But shooting-wise, he's got to be pleased with that.
More to trigger. Goes back into the backcourt. This will be okay because nobody touched it. Trudeau with it. And we'll start clicking off the shot clock at this point. Moore gets a screen from Arnold.
Don's back to a man-to-man defense. Just gave him a different look for a few times down.
Okay, Wirtz.
Push into it, Scott's
trying to
handling.
say his hand is away there, and Wirtz gets the drive on Best. Kicks back out in the corner. Stinson has it. He's almost fading out of bounds. Saved it to Trudeau. They were in big trouble there. 11 to shoot are the Sycamores. Moore gets a screen. And a give and go, tries Wirtz, it doesn't work. He now will try Trudeau. He will try to feed inside, and that goes out of bounds. And the Mastodons, with that defense, now force Indiana State to get a shot off with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. And they're going to have to do it quickly. More to trigger. Looks inside, doesn't have Wirtz. Now gets to Arnold, who's going to have to hurry. Lays it up, no good, and he's called for an offensive foul. Ran right over Best. He stayed right in there.
Yeah, it's good defensive effort from IPFW. Good move by Arnold. You just have to pull up a little bit short there.
Well, you don't. With 4 seconds left on the shot clock, you don't have a lot of time to think about what you're going to do. You got to find your closest way to the basket, and unfortunately for Arnold, that was right over Best, and he was fairly well planted.
Adam had 11 against Indiana in their real impressive second-half effort. He's a guy we talked about that they're really counting on. With only 3 starters back from last year, this is a guy that can really make some hay.
Quentin Carruthers coming back in. Tony Jasic, in the pregame chalk talk I had with him regarding the strategy here, he said of Arnold, he's one guy that just has his hands around the basket at all times, whether it's tipping in shots, rebounding on the defensive end. And I said, Tony, we saw it for 4 years at Belmont. We know all about it. Dons turn it over on a little sloppy play by Perkins.
7th turnover, and I was watching Eggerick, and him and Arnold were getting into it there. So
the Dons, with a chance to do something there, now are going to see Indiana State have a chance to cut it back to 1 or tie it with a triple. 15-12 is our score. 11 minutes, 13 seconds to go in the first half.
Don's back out to a zone, switching things up just about every other time.
I think they're just trying to do that to be a little bit confusing.
But, you know, Indiana State has not shown to this point in the game that they can hit the outside shot. They've scored all of their points from inside.
Here's McCoy trying that outside shot. No good. Rebounded in by Arnold. Up. And that's what he can do.
It's exactly what they talk about. He's just in the right place at the right time. Smart basketball player.
He is just so strong, too.
Yeah.
He's a tough matchup for the Dons, really, today. Eggerick, Carruthers on the left side. Q gives it off the Best, who comes outside to help. Tyler once to the hoop, back to Perkins. He's trying to draw a screen from one side or the other. Now Perkins comes into the lane, kicks back outside. Z for 3, no good. Best with a rebound and a reset. Best will spin in the lane. Little baby hook, no good. Rebounded out of there by Tunnel. And now Indiana State with a chance to make things happen here.
Dean, I think that's where they miss Hawkins,
possibly,
too, because he's a guy that would match up well with Arnold, and we may or may not see him again today. We've not gotten an update.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I will very, very surprised, honestly, if we did. Here's Arnold on the baseline. Scoops it all the way in the corner. Nice ball fake, and Trudeau will try the shot. It's off the back of the rim. Rebounded out of there by Tunnel.
He's just a force on the boards. He did it against Bloomington, and he's done it as well today.
Another shot up by Tunnel. That is no good. And
boy, they're ice cold.
DeWitt Scott has the rebound. In fact, what do we got them there for?
0 for 4 from behind the arc.
That would tell me that you're not going to do that for a little while.
Yeah, they'll stay in that zone all day long until they start hitting those.
Best. Carruthers gets a screen from Best. Now Q will try from 16. Got it. He's brought the shooting eye in, Brian. Now that's the first one he's really tried outside. The other two were hammer jammers. And he's got 6 points.
Downs will stay in their zone, and why not? Makes it real tough for the big guys inside. Tunnel to get it open for free shots. And Trudeau's had a lot of open looks and finally knocks one down.
Yeah, Martin, or we should say Moore, did a nice job of finding him because he was sort of like out of options as he was charging into the lane. And like that, the game is tied. Perkins getting a screen from Eggerick. Outside Carruthers. He gets a screen from Best to Perkins. Perkins gets back out to Eggerick. Carruthers back of the rim. Shot up, no good. Eggerick has the ball loose, and the loose ball is grabbed out of there by Arnold. Well, Zelko didn't grab it. I mean,
no,
he slapped at it. Here's Moore, bounces it off his knee. Perkins grabs it, and we're going to have a tie-up probably.
That's going to go to Indiana State.
And Sabley will see his first entrance, and look who else is coming in.
And he's back.
That's one tough kid.
Well, and you've got to convince the trainer at that point that you're fine. I mean, that's one thing we talked about, a head injury. He's not going to let him come back. And let's watch how he moves up and down the floor. But if I know Dan Fox, he's cleared him, and he's ready to go.
He's pretty thorough.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll err to the conservative. So we're going to get something worked out here, and I think once we finally figured it out, reset the shot clock to 27, says Bo Borowski. Officials today are Bo Borowski, Jerry Sauter, and Britt Wagenke. And it'll be Indiana State triggering in. Almost triggered it too high for Moore. He has it now. Goes inside. Tunnel. Back outside Moore. He's going to bomb it away for 3. No good. And there is up with Wirtz. He's denied a shot. And I'll tell you what, you know who did that? Mr. Hawkins.
Mr. Hawkins.
Here come the Dons. Sabley. Off to Carruthers. Tyler will try a triple. Back of the rim, no good. Off top of the backboard, no good. That'll automatically turn it over to Indiana State, although they were going to have the rebound anyway.
And that's not a bad shot for him. I mean, he's wide open. He's a good shooter from outside. Don's 3 for 9 from behind the arc.
And they've kind of cooled down. In all honesty, outside the Scott triple, they really haven't been that lights out outside.
Yeah,
they really haven't tried that much.
You take
outside.
him out of the mix, and you're 1 for 6.
So Moore brings it up as Indiana State can take the lead here on this possession with 8:14 to go. It's tied at 17. Tunnel, or Trudeau, I should say, out top. In the corner on the baseline, up and in.
Yeah, and you hate to see that with a zone. That's what you're trying to avoid, but you know he's going to bang inside.
Downs quickly bring it up. They're going to speed it up a little bit. Best to Scott and go.
I watched Trudeau. He just rolled his eyes. I mean, that's what he's trying to prevent. But DeWitt Scott gets that is a true jump shot. I mean, he gets up on that jump shot.
Well, he didn't have a lot of time to set either. I mean, he just got it and fired, and he really didn't have himself squared, but just a hot shot.
He is a good-looking player.
Trudeau has the ball to Moore. Back to Trudeau. Marshall. Trudeau between the rings, picked up by Scott. To Moore. Moore will come to the right side. Yo-yo it outside. 9 to shoot. Sycamore's taking it all the way down. Here is a shot up. It's from the rim, no good. And that is Tyler to get the rebound. And quickly into the forecourt is Carruthers.
Nice
Gives
pass.
it in. And there's a nice lay. Oh, it wouldn't go, but he's fouled.
Just a great no-look pass from Quentin Carruthers.
Hawkins almost got a little too deep on that one to really make it work. Did they call an offensive foul on him?
They did.
No, they didn't. It's a timeout. They took a timeout. I didn't think that was a foul. I don't believe it. Anyway, we'll be back with more Mastodon basketball action right after this.
Pizza! I must eat. Wait, what is this? Capsicum Annam? Agaricus bisporus. Allium cepa.
Can we eat this?
Peppers, mushrooms, and onions. Eat your pizza, man.
Funny.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Life is good, but with a master's degree from IPFW, it could be even better. You could land a promotion, earn more money, become a leader in your field. And IPFW makes it easy. With affordable tuition, night and weekend classes, and more than 20 graduate programs from business to education to public affairs and more. Become the master of your future. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. Your graduate university.
Keep up with the IPFW women's basketball team each week through the season by tuning into the Chris Paul Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 6:30, Saturdays at 12:30 on College 5. Coach Paul and host Mike Maas review recent games, talk with players, and preview upcoming games. The Chris Paul Show on College Access Channel 5.
Dean, so far IPFW has lost the battle of the boards, 14-5 in favor of Indiana State, and that's one thing they're going to have to turn around as this game moves on.
That's a rather astounding statistic.
It is.
I
Part of
knew
that
they'd
is
done it.
this guy was out for a while.
Well, and they missed his defense. Hawkins misses the first free throw. He has 3 points, had an early three. And Justin will try and get the Dons out to a 2-point lead, and that one's good. So it's 21-19 IPFW. We're at 7:11 to go in the first half. Moore picked up by Savely, who says switch it over, and now Scott picks him up. Instead, now we'll have Marshall with the ball.
Well, Indiana State shooting 16% from behind the arc, and the Dons will stay in this zone until that changes.
Kick into the corner. There's a bomb on its way. That was Trudeau, and it was no good.
He's been the one that's been chucking them up out there. 1 for 4 now.
Savely with the ball to Scott. Looking inside to Hawkins. Has it taken away. That was a nice defensive play there by Wirtz. And quickly, Indiana State is back down. Marshall. Moore. They call out a play. Does Royce Weltman, kneeling right in front of us. And Moore will get it off to Marshall.
You got to feel they want to get the ball inside here to Tunnel or Wirtz inside. And right there
There's
is
Wirtz
Wirtz
right there. And we have a foul on Zelko.
Dean, I think I've decided that DeWitt Scott just winces in pain. He winces when things happen. I thought he was hurt earlier. I just think he's a guy that really shows his emotions. If there's a bad pass, he'll wince a little bit.
I wouldn't take all that thought away, Ryan. If you notice, one leg is wrapped a little harder than the other one, so he may be favoring it after all. But that, I think, was a pregame existing condition.
Absolutely.
That wasn't something that happened on that three where he hit the deck. Moore picked up by Scott. Marshall back to Moore. Almost didn't get it over the hands of Scott. Marshall fakes the shot, tries to go over Savely. Here is Moore, back outside to Marshall. He'll try it over Savely, and that's no good. And it's rebounded. It looked like Scott was going to get it, but it was bounced out of his hands, out of bounds, and will belong to IPFW.
Dane Fife has got to love the way this game's playing out right now. He's playing the zone, and Indiana State is 1 for 8 from behind the arc, and that's exactly the kind of game plan I think they wanted coming in.
Ruling was it was off the hands of Wirtz, and here's Savely, picked up there by Marshall as the Dons try to lengthen the lead out to 4. Savely with a nice pass over to Carruthers. Ball gets deflected, but Savely saves it. Carruthers on the move inside, look for Zelko. The shot went off his hands, and another save, almost a save by Justin Hawkins, who again leads the world in floor burns.
Yes, he does. And showing no ill effects of that head injury. I think he probably still has a headache for sure, but he looks like he's fine out there. As good as you can be after hitting your head on the wood.
You could ask him if he's hurting, and he might be bleeding, and he'll tell you, I'm fine. He's that kind of kid.
Well, that's how college athletes are. I mean, look at the guard for Indiana State.
But he takes it to him. Moore. Stinson. Outside.
Doing a real good job keeping the ball from getting inside on this zone.
Gets it back from Moore. Moves into the lane. Tries the 10-footer over Zelko and hits it. And that ties the game. 21-all. Stavely. Picked up there by Stinson. Downs want to get that lead back. He's going low to Best. He's going to try and back down Tunnel. He's going to put the baby hook over Tunnel and get the roll.
Nice touch. Very tough shot to defend, and Best can hit that one.
That's his first bucket. They're moving it around, and Tunnel with the ball. Trudeau. Moore goes into the lane. That's Tunnel trying it again. Here's a shot up by Trudeau, and he's got the touch outside.
You can't give him that open of a look, or he's going to knock that down. He's hit their only 2 threes.
And now ISU has their first lead since they led it at the outset. Savely getting around Stinson. cut off there on the baseline. Goes way outside
Tough
Carruthers.
pass.
And that's going to go. They're going to rule that off Trudeau, and I'm not sure that's a good call.
Well, he definitely hit it. I'm not sure if Carruthers hit it on the other side.
I thought it might have gone off cue, and he was. If he didn't, he was a great actor.
He's a very good actor otherwise.
He's a senior. You learn to act by that time. Dons trail by 1, 4:37 to go, first half. Hawkins to trigger.
Well, DeWitt Scott's got about an 8 or 9 inch advantage over Moore.
Well, let's see if they take advantage of that. Here's Perkins, who's back into the game.
Well, they list Moore at 6 feet. I'm not sure I see it.
Goes around Stinson, gives it to Best. Best fakes the 3, comes into the lane, spins around. Now he's going to move, and he might have been called for traveling. Yes, he was. I thought it was going to be 3 seconds if it wasn't going to be traveling.
7th turnover on the Dons in the half. Indiana State, though, they've got that beat. They've got 8, but really most of those in the first 5 or 6 minutes for Royce Waltman's team.
That's what you get when you get a little indecision of what you're going to do with the basketball. Moore, who I don't believe has left the floor. Stinson.
Now the Dons go back to a man-to-man.
Arnold, who's back in. Stinson picked up by Scott, and he'll come between the rings. They're going to go into their motion. Boy, that is the classic IU motion, isn't it?
It is.
Motion. Here's Stinson driving the baseline, trying to get around. Does a
nice
nice move to get. Actually, he faked out both Scott and Hawkins, who thought he was going to kick it back outside.
That's a big-time move right there.
And the Dons are down by 3, and they've not been down this far in the whole game.
No, quietly, that's their biggest deficit.
Carruthers. Bounce pass and a very outside low post is Best, and he is fouled as he tries to put a move that worked on Wirtz, and Wirtz is going to draw the foul. And I don't think they're going to be shooting yet, but it looks like we're going to be talking about it.
That's his
timeout.
first.
So with the score, 26-23, Indiana State over IPFW. We'll be back with more Mastodon basketball action right after this.
Are you in there? What's up? The show's at 7. Whoa.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Join head coach Dane Five on College 5 for the Dane 5 Show, featuring highlights and insights on the Mastodons from the coach and his guests. Mike Maas hosts the show on Wednesdays at 7, Fridays at 7, Saturdays at noon on College Access Channel 5.
You know, Dean, as I look at the crowd, it's tough to tell. You know, obviously most of the crowd's IPFW, but, you know, Indiana State's got the blue colors as well. Obviously, they brought some fans here. But
they had a reception here for local alumni, of which there are quite a few.
Yeah, I noticed that. Well, and I'm sure Adam Arnold's got his band of fans as well coming up.
Oh, I'm sure. Carruthers getting the pass outside. He scoots outside. He'll try Scott for 3. That's no good this time, and it's grabbed out of there by Wirtz, and it'll be Indiana State trying to lengthen their lead out to 5.
Well, the way he's shooting, you almost expect everyone to go down.
Moore, double duping, coming back outside, goes in low to Arnold. Arnold spins in the lane, blocked by
nice
Hawkins,
block.
but that'll be a foul. And I'll tell you what, with Arnold's advantage on Hawkins in height, that had to be anticipated beautifully, which it was, but unfortunately got a piece of the wrist as well.
Yeah, Arnold spent 40 minutes going up against DJ White and the boys in Bloomington and played quite well there. He's a guy that if he gets in the paint, he'll usually score or get fouled.
Only a 50% free throw shooter right now coming into this game, and there's a little indication of why. That was not a problem of his in high school. He hit those then. That one's good. I don't believe, if I can recall Adam Arnold's time at Belmont, he ever played in this building. I don't think he ever would have had the opportunity.
I don't think he did.
Here's Perkins. The Dons down by 4 now, and they've not been down this far in the entire game. And now we have a whistle underneath.
In fact, his senior year, they did make the state finals, which was a big surprise for them.
Well, they actually had some key players that they lost from his junior year.
Yeah.
That they didn't get as far. I remember going to that game. They got beat by a very good, fundamentally sound and smaller Wawasee team that then got beat the next week. So the Dons will trigger with a fresh shot clock. Perkins outside Carruthers. Carruthers tries to look inside. Nobody inside, so let's try and create something else. Goes to Best, draws a double team on the give and go, and that's what happens with a double team. As Carruthers cut through the lane and took the accepted pass and scored.
Yeah, gets the fourth field goal. Good to see him get involved in the offense a little better.
They've been all kinds of different buckets too, Ryan, which is very good. Now Stinson goes off glass and in as he got over Scott.
He's the guy that's starting to catch fire for them. 3 good buckets in a row.
Well, he's quick. They got a lot of quick guys. They're 2 backboard guys right now. Stinson and Moore are really good at that. Here's Carruthers, who is hitting shots of all kinds today.
No question who's got the feel for them right now. And Royce Waltman wants one right away.
It's going to be a 30. Well, you know, that's the one guy that has been consistent offensively for the Dons. And he says, hey, if they've only got one guy that's hitting it right now, let's go stop him.
Well, Q's 5 for 8 in the first half, and 2 of the big dunks, but he's really taking some good shots. I mean, this one right here is classic Quentin Carruthers. Look at his defender. He's released that ball before he can even go up. That's the quickness on offense.
Well, that's also the senior move because he got himself, while he flashed to that spot, he still got himself squared to get the good shot.
There are guys on the floor like a Quentin Carruthers and certainly more for Indiana State. If they make their move, it's very difficult to stay with them. They're that fast.
Royce Waltman, long stay at Indiana State after a length of time as an assistant to Bob Knight at IU so many years ago, because he's been at Indiana State for a number of years now.
About 2 decades now.
And he's a survivor because there have been some teams there that have struggled, and he's sort of cycled through and gotten some good teams and gotten himself back a number of times. Plays back in now. And Todd McCoy is checking into the game for Indiana State. Into the lane, that is Stinson, faking in the air, and he got Perkins in the air and drew the foul, and he'll shoot 2.
Dean, this is about the style of play we expect. I mean, 29-27, you in college basketball classify that, I guess, as a low-scoring game. And it's similar to what these 2 teams played last year. They're not going to force it up and down the floor. They're both shooting well, over 50%.
And yet, I don't think we've seen the best game out of the Dons yet.
No, we
Take
haven't.
Carruthers out of it, and we haven't. Marshall, with the first one, is no good. He'll have another. Dane Fife out on the floor, indicating what he wants to see offensively on the next set with 2:13 to go in the first half, and his Dons trailing by 2, and Marshall dips and delivers number 2 and got it. So it's a 3-point lead for Indiana State as we close in on the 2-minute mark of the first half, and Saley in now, and Perkins out at the point guard position for the Dons. Saley going to be tied up here if he doesn't get the pass in. Hawkins saves him. He's guarded by Arnold. Back to Saley, gets in low. Best denied, dips around, no good. Tip up, no good. And Hawkins had a shot there, but it didn't work, and Arnold grabbed the rebound. Marshall into the forecourt. Looking in low, Stinson trying to set up low. Now he comes out high. McCoy looking for Wirtz, has him. Guarded there by Best, drives around Best, and fouled by Best.
Yeah, he's pretty athletic. I mean, Wirtz goes about 6'9". I think they've got him listed less than that, but definitely can move around. 6'8".
That's only the 15th foul on the Dons, so are we going to be shooting already? I'm looking up here, and I'm not seeing
9th team
Best. All right, I guess we're going to see it anyway. Here, Wirtz is going to shoot. Shot of Arnie Ball there. One of the Hall of Famers who will be honored at halftime. Wirtz hits the first one, and that's a 4-point lead now for Indiana State. And if Wirtz can hit this one, they have their biggest lead of the game at 5. Tunnel ready to check back in as Wirtz hits the second one, and he comes in for Wirtz. Wirtz played a nice game.
He has played a nice game. He's a guy that really caught my eye watching him play the Hoosiers the other night. And a big possession for IPFW, only down 5, but clearly they want to go to the halftime. They played a pretty good first half.
Minimally, you don't want to go down any further than
You
this.
don't.
Savely goes into the lane, and he's fouled out on the floor.
Well, Stinson was riding him from when they came across half court. And they'll give you that for a second or 2.
They'll give you 2 bumps. He gave him about 4. So Savely will get his first chance at putting a point on the board.
IPFW has only shot 2 free throws, both by Mr. Hawkins the entire first half.
This smells a lot like Valparaiso.
It really does.
In that situation.
At least you're only looking 4 for 6 on the other side.
Savely's first free throw will be his only one because he missed it, and Mr. Arnold is up there for the rebound. And I believe we're finally seeing Moore take a rest here as the point guard position has been taken over by Marshall. Stinson picked up there by Scott. McCoy back to Stinson, top of the key, guarded there by Saley. A little bit of a mismatch there. Marshall Back to McCoy.
Not a great outside
knocking over some
team
people
they've
down
got
as
right
McCoy
now.
comes in and lays it in. I think the switch was supposed to be with Scott coming over, and he fell down.
Yeah, he just had he could have driven a car through that lane right there.
Well, when the guy falls down, the guy who's supposed to clog it is not there. Here's Savely, and the Dons all of a sudden see themselves down 7. Here is Hawkins. Scott, Carruthers, drawing it. He doesn't use his screen, and we have a hold, and that will be on McCoy. And Q will go to the line. Good first half of Carruthers. 5 of 8 from the field and 10 points, and he'll get his first chances at the free throw line. 47.1 seconds to go in the first half. The Dons, who had led for much of the first half, though by not a lot, now find themselves down 7, and they want to cut that down within 5 or less, I would say, by the half. I think would be all right.
Yeah, if they can get both free throws here and give a good solid effort, I think Dane Fife will take 5 down at halftime.
Well, to get a stop, the goal might be 3. Get the stop on the other end, maybe come down and score again before
you've got
halftime.
enough time. You'll get another possession.
Carruthers with 11 now. He is the high scorer in the game. And he'll deliver number 2, and that's good as well. And the Dons are within 5 at 34-29. Not going to really pick up a lot of pressure here, as Marshall will get really pretty uncontested other than the token stop by Savely. He'll get it now back from Stinson. Go to work on Savely. Had a guy cut through it, didn't use him.
Dons
Stinson.
go back to a 2-3 zone. I like the call because I don't think they've got their best three-point shooters out there for Indiana State.
About an 11-second difference in the shot clock. 15 to go on the shot clock, 27.2 on the big clock.
In fact, the only guy that's hit a 3 is Trudeau. He's hit both of them, and he's on the bench.
So get a stop here, and you have a pretty decent amount of time to get one more good look. This is Stinson to Marshall. Back to Stinson.
Gonna have to move quick now.
McCoy, baseline to Arnold. Back outside. Stinson will try the triple. Got it.
Yeah, nails
Buried it good too.
Yeah, now you got to hurry.
Yeah, you're down 8 now, and that's the high point mark of the game for the Sycamores. Carruthers, they're going to have to hurry. 3 seconds to go. Here's a shot. It's going to have to go up by 3 from Hawkins. Missed everything, and that's the horn. Not a very good last 5 minutes by the Dons.
No, they played much better than what the score indicates, but that's how it goes sometimes.
37-29 our score. Indiana State back with more Mastodon basketball right after this. Got to find our...
That book was all right. You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales. You're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Life is good, but with a master's degree from IPFW, it could be even better. You could land a promotion, earn more money, become a leader in your field. And IPFW makes it easy. With affordable tuition, night and weekend classes, and more than 20 graduate programs from business to education to public affairs and more. Become the master of your future. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. Your graduate university.
I'm Kent Horman with an IPFW Mastodon Minute. The women's volleyball team capped off a fabulous season, winning the independent championship at North Dakota State. The Dons defeated Texas Pan American, North Dakota State, and Utah Valley State on their way to the title. Freshman Rebecca Ream was named the tournament's most valuable player, and Sonara Martins joined her on the all-tournament team. IPFW finished a great year at 26-10. The women's basketball team opened with a 66-55 victory over Toledo last Saturday at the Gates Center. They'll play at the Carolina Classic at UNC Asheville this weekend. The men's basketball team fell in their home opener, losing to Valparaiso 75-67 Monday at the Coliseum. IPFW continues its homestand Wednesday against Rochester College. Then Indiana State visits the Coliseum Sunday for homecoming. Tip-off is 4 p.m. With this IPFW Mastodon Minute, I'm Kent Horman.
Halftime at the Coliseum, IPFW homecoming. The Dons trailing Indiana State 37-29. And several Hall of Famers are being inducted into the Hall of Fame of IPFW athletics today. One of the most noteworthy one, to my mind, the most famous one.
No, that's the other guy.
Okay. Well, he'll be back someday soon. Arnie Ball joining us, the longtime volleyball coach, and this is a special day for everybody that's involved with this, isn't it?
Sure is, Dean. It's just so wonderful to see some of the student athletes that we've spent so many years with in the past come back and visit IPFW and be recognized as outstanding student athletes here at the school.
And you've seen it from when it was very, very small, and you've seen the whole growth. And can you even begin to encapsulate just how much growth you've seen in the time you've been here?
You know, it's really hard to do that. It's been 26 years since I came out here, and obviously the campus has grown a great deal as well as the athletic program. And it's just, once again, so neat to see these young people who have put so much into the athletic program back when we're Division II, and certainly the early years of Division I, and come back and enjoy being part of the campus again.
All right, the long, lanky one that you've seen from day one of his life. Update us. Where is Loy now, and what's he doing?
He's in Kazan, Russia, and he's playing with the #1 professional team in the Soviet Union.
Now, we've dealt with him on volleyball. What about you in volleyball? This is a team that you were talking about last year, was a very good one, and you were even excited looking ahead to what they could be this year. You're still that way?
We like our team a lot. We had a great fall season, went up to Canada and beat the #1 team in Canada. Our kids have trained real hard all fall, and we're looking forward to playing in January.
Well, and playing into May, which would be a nice thing. Did the kids, in your mind, learn a lot from that experience, going to Penn State and dealing with that? Because it seemed to me they came back and they were very focused, knowing that they had not had the opportunity to win, but knowing that the opportunity was still going to come for most of them.
One of the neat things about playing in the Final Four, unless you win, is the fact that you can come back and challenge the kids. You know, we got to here, now here's what you got to do to win the whole thing. And this whole group is very, very focused on that. We've talked about it from day one, and we're going to continue to talk about it until the first week of May.
Okay, as a guy who had a son that played a little basketball, as a guy who knows the game of basketball as well as the game of volleyball, you saw the last 4 minutes, they were not stellar. What does this team got to do?
Well, we got to play a little tougher defense, I think, and we got to put the ball in the hole. The ball seems to want to go in.
Well, either inside or outside, we got to get that done sooner or later.
That's correct.
Again, congratulations, Arnie, on your induction, and to all the inductees as well. We'll be back with more Mastodon basketball right after this. Thank you.
Life is good, but with a master's degree from IPFW, it could be even better. You could land a promotion, earn more money, become a leader in your field. And IPFW makes it easy. With affordable tuition, night and weekend classes, and more than 20 graduate programs from business to education to public affairs and more. Become the master of your future. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. Your graduate university.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's what life's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
I'm Kent Horman with an IPFW Mastodon Minute. The women's volleyball team capped off a fabulous season, winning the independent championship at North Dakota State. The Dons defeated Texas Pan American, North Dakota State, and Utah Valley State on their way to the title. Freshman Rebecca Ream was named the tournament's most valuable player, and Sonara Martins joined her on the all-tournament team. IPFW finished a great year at 26-10. The women's basketball team opened with a 66-55 victory over Toledo last Saturday at the Gates Center. They'll play at the Carolina Classic at UNC Asheville this weekend. The men's basketball team fell in their home opener, losing to Valparaiso 75-67 Monday at the Coliseum. IPFW continues its homestand Wednesday against Rochester College. Then Indiana State visits the Coliseum Sunday for homecoming. Tip-off is 4 p.m. With this IPFW Mastodon Minute, I'm Kent Horman.
And a little bit of the action of the varied ways of Quentin Carruthers scoring baskets in this first half. Inside, nice move outside there by Justin Hawkins, who missed a part of this game, Ryan, because he banged his head off the floor, but came back and still played the game he was capable of doing.
Yeah, I thought he came back and played pretty well. I think IPFW's got to be real disappointed to be down 8 at the break because they played much better than that. But, you know, just looking at the stats, Dean, 18-8.
Pretty given.
They were out-rebounded. And Quentin Carruthers, one of his 2 dunks, really played well. But the problem is only 5 guys score for IPFW, and they just didn't have the balanced effort I think they need to have.
Well, and again, without Carruthers, who we're going to see here on one really nice pop-up move for the jumper, he brought his best game tonight. He has played well defensively, and he has gone to the open.
Well, if you take out this man, DeWitt, Scott, and Carruthers, IPFW's only got 8 points on the board, and I think that's big.
That's not a good situation at all. So we'll see what they're able to do. And as Arnie mentioned in the halftime interview, got to score, got to defend. I believe those are the biggest parts of the game, so that's pretty much good lowest common denominator type of thing. But he's absolutely right in those things. They've been a little bit lacking on each one of those situations.
You know, Dane Fife talked about this before, that this is a Valparaiso effort that they had before where 1 or 2 plays can really decide things. You know, if you watch this first half, they didn't get outplayed bad, but the final 3 minutes went their way, and now they're down 8.
Well, they started hit threes.
Yeah.
They were the entire first half, I'd say the first 15 minutes, they weren't hitting any threes. Then all of a sudden they found the lid came off, and they found a way, they got it to the right people, and they were doing that thing. And I think the Dons let up on their intensity inside.
Yeah.
On the defensive end, they were much stronger inside with the first 15 minutes, and for some reason or other, either they ran out of gas in there or stopped executing. Something was wrong there, and it all wasn't happening.
Well, and a telling stat, and maybe the worst stat for Dane Fife and his troops, is 57% is what you've allowed Indiana State to shoot in the first half, and that number is going to have to come down. You see, Wirtz is their only guy that's found double figures, but that 57% field goal percentage is really way too high than IPFW. It means they're getting good shots.
Let's get those numbers back up here. Here are the team stats. IPFW hitting 44%, Indiana State 57%. Dane Fife sees that, he's going to have a cow or two. There you see 3 of 10 Sycamores were in 3 points, but I'll tell you what, most of those 3 of 10 happened within the last 5 minutes. Turnovers, bot even, and the rebounds is a big story in this one where Indiana State is really handling it to the Dons right now.
Yeah, I think the rebounds and the field goal percentage definitely jump out at you. And the one way to really affect that is just to give them a little, not quite as good of looks. I think they've gotten a lot of looks inside the paint, and those guys, you know, when you're talking about Wirtz and Tunnel, they are not going to miss many of those, and Arnold inside.
The scoring summary, if we can pop that one up fairly quickly. As a game that is 7:37-29 right now, Indiana State at the half. They're going to get that thing up there for us, I'm sure. If not, we'll just get it read up here. There it is. Wirtz leading with 10, Stinson with 9, Trudeau with 6. And
Carruthers isn't on there. He's actually leading the way. But, you know, you go after Scott, and you're down to, between Scott and Carruthers, they've got 21, with Carruthers having 12.
Carruthers, as we say, hitting his shots from all different spots on the floor and playing a very, very good, strong game defensively when he has been asked to do that. We've had all our Hall of Famers out there on the floor. The induction for several athletes that you and I both can remember.
Absolutely.
And their
Dean, I like to see this. You're seeing a lot more school spirit. I mean, it's not easy to transition into a Division I program and get your students excited, get a good crowd here, and they're making those steps.
Well, and the other thing is it obviously means a lot to these people coming back. You know, it's kind of fun to see, especially some of the female athletes who obviously have different names now than when we saw them play. A number of them are coaching, like Lisa Miller-McBride, the top scorer all time in IPFW basketball, was coaching Carroll and now is attending to her growing family for a while. But she was out there, I noticed. Bunch of the people in basketball and volleyball, and then the one noticeable one who was not here was Mr. Loy Ball, who was busy plying his trade in Russia with volleyball. And word I get is that he is toying with an opportunity of possibly Beijing. To make one more
I talked to Loy
try.
just a few more months back, and he acted like he was getting to the point he was about ready to say goodbye. But the Olympics are that one dream that it's really hard to give up on. And it's incredible when you consider he's 35 years old now. He's right around where I'm at.
The funny thing is, what I'm hearing, Ryan, is that he is in the best shape of his life.
And he looks like it.
And I'll tell you what, and you've seen this as well, as an athlete matures and gets to the point where he's not going to be able to be an athlete anymore, he or she works like a dog to get themselves in better shape and doing the things that they probably think, well, I wish I could have done this when I was younger, when I was smarter, to keep myself in shape to be able to go at this level. But that's what Loy is doing, and apparently in good enough shape to continue to play. 37-29 our score. Indiana State leading IPFW. Back with more IPFW Mastodon basketball in just a bit.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best.
I made you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
I'm Kent Horman with an IPFW Mastodon Minute. The women's volleyball team capped off a fabulous season, winning the independent championship at North Dakota State. The Dons defeated Texas Pan American, North Dakota State, and Utah Valley State on their way to the title. Freshman Rebecca Ream was named the tournament's most valuable player, and Sonara Martins joined her on the all-tournament team. IPFW finished a great year at 26-10. The women's basketball team opened with a 66-55 victory over Toledo last Saturday at the Gates Center. They'll play at the Carolina Classic at UNC Asheville this weekend. The men's basketball team fell in their home opener, losing to Valparaiso 75-67 Monday at the Coliseum. IPFW continues its homestand Wednesday against Rochester College. Then Indiana State visits the Coliseum Sunday for homecoming. Tip-off is 4 p.m. With this IPFW Mastodon Minute, I'm Kent Horman.
Back here at the Coliseum with the Dons trailing Indiana State 37-29. We've reiterated this once, we'll reiterate it again. The Dons were in the front for a good portion of this first half, and the wheels didn't come off, but the lug nuts got a little loose.
You know they did, Dean, and I like to make my little trip down to the IPFW bench before the start of the half, and that was the worst feeling I've had in terms of the coaching staff being frustrated. And they said layups. They scored 18 points off layups, and it goes back to the shooting percentage and the rebounds. They are really not happy the way they were controlled inside.
Well, and not only that, it almost looked like they lost focus. It got a little helter-skelter out there on both ends of the floor, and the good, crisp movement running of the offense in the from the 2-minute point in until about the 5 minutes to go point in, which is a stretch of about, I'd say, 14 minutes. They were a pretty good basketball team.
Yeah, they really were. I think clearly I think IPFW and Dave Fife had quite a locker room there where he challenged his guys that they have got to win those battles inside, or this is a game they won. It's not going to happen unless they start winning those battles inside the paint.
Well, Ryan, you got to realize, and I'm sure they do, outside of the IUPUI game on Saturday, they don't have another home game here until December 9th. They're going to be making the trip to Air Force. They're going to go to Michigan State. They got a Western Illinois game on Tuesday night they've got to play, and they're going to go to Southeast Missouri State as well. So there's going to be a lot of road basketball for this team, and you don't want to go into that stretch with a bad taste in your mouth.
You don't, and not a 1-3 record. And this is a game that they can pull out. They've just got to come out right off the bat, I think, and not let this get into a double-digit lead where they're trying to get out of their game and let Indiana State get comfortable.
The latest Mastodon scores and stats are available on the World Wide Web, and that has changed a little bit as the Dons have gone to a new address on the World Wide Web. They are now gomastodonscs.cstv.com, and if you've had a chance to go to the web and check out Don's athletic adventures, it is a situation where it is a much spiffier set, spiffier look, and can do a few more things than the old website did. But The Dons are just falling in line with everybody else, that it's a situation you've got to be able to do this. This is where the information is. Latest
Absolutely.
Mastodon scores and stats available on the World Wide Web at gomastodons.cstv.com. Check out the teams, the players, and the programs at the official Mastodon Athletic website.
Dons need a good possession. They'll start with the ball, which always helps.
Need to get the crowd back in it, too.
Yeah,
Kinda
they
quiet
sure
in
do.
here.
Well, Quentin Carruthers is the guy that could do that in a big way.
Well, he needs some help. And let's see what they do. Carruthers now has it. Gives it to Scott. Boy, they're flashing out on him in a minute. Stinson grabbed him up really quickly. Here is Best. Gives it to Scott. Two guys around him.
Yeah,
they're really playing some real good. They're playing some really good pressing man-to-man right now. And it's a help man-to-man, and it caused a turnover as a bounce pass went off of Tyler Best's knee and out of bounds.
Well, if you're Royce Walton, you tell your team, who are the two guys that have hurt us? It's DeWitt Scott and it's Quentin Carruthers, and I don't expect that they're going to see many open looks this half.
Well, I think they also realize they want to get out here, get out to maybe lead a double digit, and really make the Dons think about things. Stinson goes in, ran all the way through. Here's Moore, kicks back outside to Tunnel. Here's Trudeau. He'll bomb it from 3. That's back of the rim, no good. Rebound up there by Wirtz. He's up there 3 guys, and he is clobbered by one of them.
That is not going to make the coaching staff happy.
No.
But this is a guy, he's one of those, I guess you call him
tweener.
Lunch bucket players.
Yeah.
And he gets down there, he plays his tail off.
Well, he goes out there at 6'8", and I think that's being a little generous. He hits the first one. But he uses what strength he has, and he looks like he's a pretty well-built guy to make things happen down there. And he out-muscled 3 guys on the offensive board there and got this opportunity to make 2 free throws, and he will make them both.
When he did it to IU Friday night, and let's face it, they've got a pretty good front court down there in Bloomington. I mean, this is a guy that can battle down low.
Don's down by 10 now. That's the longest deficit they've had. Carruthers. Scott trying to set a screen, but not very effective with it. Now Carruthers will try a tough jumper. That's back of the rim, no good. And Eggerick trying to go for the rebound. He's lucky he wasn't called going over the back. As it is, it goes off the Dons and out of bounds, and it'll be Indiana State's ball. And this is getting a little dangerous here right now, Ryan.
They've definitely got the momentum, and it's early. There's still 19 minutes left, but clearly this is where, against what I consider a pretty solid team in Indiana State, you don't want to let them get a lead that's really going to be tough to overcome.
But I'll tell you what, if you're Indiana State, you don't take the foot off the pedal right now. Here's
No.
Wirtz trying in the lane. He tried one that I don't think was a really well-advised shot, but he makes up for it with a great steal, gets it over Eggerick, and drops it with a foul.
That's just good hustle. I mean, that's that lunch bucket mentality. You miss it. Eggerick does a great job defensively and then just gets a little sloppy and doesn't realize. Now, we're going to see Jerron Burroughs for the first time all game. Which
he relaxed, and I think he's the guy going out. You betcha. Burroughs is going in to add some more athleticism. And not so much for a little conversation as we can see right now, which is very one way.
Yes, it is. Eggerick not even looking at him right now.
And I wouldn't either. And stay away from his chin, Dane.
That's right.
Carruthers into the forecourt. The free throw is missed by Wirtz, and the deficit now 12. Best, give and go, but not too late for Scott to get the ball. Carruthers comes left side, goes in low to Best, batted away, but he retrieves it. 22 to shoot, still plenty of time to make something happen. Carruthers back in low to Best, and I believe we had Trudeau on his back.
Did I get the sense with Jerron Burroughs there must be something in practice that maybe he doesn't work quite like they want him to, because we go sporadically. Against Valpo, we didn't see him the whole first half, and he came in the second half in the same situation tonight.
Tunnel got the foul. Dons will inbound it. Goes to the backcourt. Scott. He's picked up out there by Trudeau. Here's Perkins. Burroughs trying to set a screen. Here is Carruthers getting it back to Burroughs. He fakes the shot. He needs to put some of those shots up. Carruthers. Set screen by Burroughs. Carruthers will take the bomb for 3. Not enough fun on the rim.
Don's still looking for their first points in the second half.
Tunnel has the rebound to Moore. IPFW in a little bit of trouble here. Wirtz, guarded there by Burroughs, goes to work on Burroughs, spins around him,
That's
gets
good
some
job
help from Best. Gets
Real
some
good job.
Nice job there. They had to kick it back outside. Trudeau in low, goes to Tunnel. Back up, good. Good tough shot. That's a good one. He was working hard on that one. Now it's 43-29. The Dons are down by 14. In low goes to Burroughs. He needs to go to the hole.
There's a nice
like
move.
that.
Yep. He's a very athletic player. I'm not sure, like we said before, why he doesn't see more minutes other than I think it's got to be practice related because he's played well the minutes I've seen him out on the floor.
Maybe that's something that unleashes things and makes him start thinking more offensively. Need to get that first bucket.
Yeah.
Moore. Trudeau cuts through, doesn't get the pass. He goes to Wirtz out top. Guarded there by Burroughs. Got that long wingspan. He could really be effective defensively like that. Stinson. Moore looking for cutters. Now it's Indiana State standing around just a little bit. Moore goes to work on Perkins, gets a screen from Wirtz. 3, 2, 1. They're not going to get it off. They're not going to get it off.
That's a good 35 seconds for sure. You're going to see, I'm sure Indiana State will be a little more patient, but that Royce Waltman doesn't want that patient.
They really slackened back.
Yeah.
You know, I'm kind of surprised because they had about 5 or 6 really good possessions in a row where there had been some urgency to the offense that they were trying to do. And they didn't. And he's not happy right now. Royce Waltman right in front of us. Carruthers trying to get a low post look at the Best. He has him now. He's going to go to work on Tunnel.
Boy, free to
go back to work on Tunnel. No help. So he goes in, gets the little shot up and in.
He doesn't miss many of those.
If they don't give him help, he can do that all night. And he hasn't scored a lot. That's only the 4th point of the night for Best.
Well, now you got to back down to 10. You need a good defensive effort here, and you're going to see Arnold check in for Indiana State.
Tunnel gets a cutter, doesn't use him. Stinson was going through. Here's oh, what a great move by Wirtz.
There could be another reason we don't see Burroughs as much, but boy, that's a big time move.
Well, I think he was late coming over. Wirtz has come to play here in the second half. He's really been the difference so far.
Well, we talked about him at the beginning. He's just one of those guys you just got to account for.
Bedlow to Betts. We'll see if he goes to work on Tunnel again. Stinson's trying to come in there to help him out. Betts with another fading shot. Got the roll again.
You know, if Wirtz doesn't foul out against Indiana, I'm not so sure they don't pull that game out. He was really a guy that carried him, and they got in foul trouble.
And from what we've seen in the last 2 or 3 minutes, that bears a lot of credence to what you just said.
It does.
Moore to Stinson. Don's back within 10. They're making some progress. Here's Wirtz going to work on Best, puts it up over him, and that's we should say, Tunnel.
You see how strong he is.
He is going. They're very similar, and I should be able to differentiate it because one of them has a beard and one of them sort of has a beard too. So that idea goes out the door too. 45-35, Indiana State over IPFW. We will be back with more Mastodon basketball right after this.
Pizza! I must eat. Wait, what is this? Capsicum annum? Agaricus bisporus? Allium cepa?
Can we eat this?
Peppers, mushrooms, and onions. Eat your pizza, man.
Funny.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
School spirit involved here in homecoming for IPFW as the Dons trail it by 10 here in the second half.
Yeah, it's a little easier to paint your chest on these basketball games than the cold football games. You know, good look there at Best, how he just has that soft touch inside and uses his body well. He's tough to defend on those.
Well, he's been pretty much the offensive story for the Dons in the second half. He's had some nice moves and gotten some very nice rolls on the rim, but he's got to keep doing that. Tunnel with the free throw, and he's got it. He'll have another. Tunnel now with 7 points in the game.
Yeah, he's just a sophomore, so he's clearly a guy that competed well for him last year and just a young player for them that has a bright future.
Not with that free throw, though, and Perkins has the rebound on the miss. So the Dons, with a bucket here, can get it back to a single-figure situation. Perkins goes low to Best. They're still not giving him any help. Tyler got to go to the hole. And he's working on it. And he's going to go up again. And he's short with this one.
Yeah, Tunnel had a lot better aggressive effort on that one. Got a hand out there to block the shot.
Arnold is in, and he was also helping defend that, and he grabbed the rebound. Now they go in the Tunnel. Goes outside. Stinson.
Good ball movement.
On the move. Kicks it back outside. Trudeau tried the triple. It was no good. It is Best with the rebound.
Yeah, they're shooting 25% from behind the arc, but they've scored so well inside. It really hadn't hurt them tonight.
Perkins looking into Best. Guarded there by Tunnel. Drives on him. Kicks inside. Burroughs goes in. Puts it up. And, oh, if that could have gone, it would have been a big one. He never really got this good hands, Burroughs did on the ball. And he was lucky to get it up there. But he'll go for there for 2. And Burrows on the year.
He hadn't shot many.
No, he hasn't. In fact, 3 of 6.
Make it 3 of 7 now.
Dons as a team have not really been stellar at the free throw line. 62%. That's not good. 70 is pretty much the cutoff
this
line.
game they've shot just 6, and this will be the 7th one of the game now.
He missed it badly. But the rebound to Banks on the air, and Perkins grabs it. They have a fresh shot clock. Scott, Best, who had gone down court to set up on the defense, gets the ball back. He spins into the lane, goes outside. Burrows is open for the jumper. He rims it around, no good. Best tries to slam it down, and his ball is loose on the floor, and a good defensive job. Gets the ball back for them.
That's 2 possessions.
Here's
Tyler
Scott
Best just saved him.
Putting it up, and no good. That's an air ball, and it is grabbed out of there by Tunnel, and it's Indiana State to bring it up with Moore. He'll go into the lane. He's open, puts it up, but he is hacked on the way in, and he will shoot. 14-12 to go, 46-35, Indiana State. And Perkins gets the foul.
He's a guy you got to keep out of the middle, but it's awful tough because he's clearly one of the quickest guys out there on the floor.
Outside of Stavely, I'm not sure the Dons can match him with quickness. I mean, Carruthers can do that, but you got to count on him for other things.
Yeah.
Dane Fife, Tony Jasic, Jeff Tungate trying to figure out what do we do here in these
final 14-12. Well, they got a 3-minute break from Wirtz, but that's over now. He's back in. Leading all scores with 16. They got to find an answer for him.
He's got the ball now outside, guarded there by Best. Now they'll go low. Shot up on the way by McCoy. That's no good. And it's Perkins with the rebound. Don's got to do something with one of these possessions, because they're having too much no cash in on the possession time in the second half. Best gives it to Scott, tries the triple, back of the rim, no good. 2 blue shirts go after it, and it's Stinson that grabs it down.
It would have been a big 3 for IPFW. Now they need to stop.
Moore will chop it about 20 feet away. It's no good. That's grabbed by Best. Dons need a cash-in possession. Got to have one.
Yeah, they've done a little better job on the defensive end, but they just have not scored. You know, we're 7 minutes into this, only 8 points for the half.
Yeah, you got to pick up some momentum here sooner or later, even though there are 13 minutes to go. Best gives it to Scott. Thought about the triple, but Moore got in there and took care of that. Down low to Best. He'll back his man down. That's Wirtz. But it's
nice
whipping.
pass.
They went over the back on Burrows. They're saying that they got all ball. Love to see another look at that one, because that looked like there might have been somebody over the back.
Mariko Stinson got up pretty fast, but did he get all ball on Jerron Burrows? That's the question.
And Dane Fife seems to be pleading the same thing. Here we go. And up. They got some hand.
It's hard to believe they missed that, but they let him play awful aggressive at the Division I level inside.
Here's Carruthers from the fade. It's no good. Rebound out of there by Burrows. Nice job. Savely grabbed it. I guess they just barely beat the shot clock with that one. Savely goes low to Best. Wirtz has him. Tyler going to back him down a little bit. Motion the guy outside. It is Carruthers. He goes in the lane. Tries from 12.
Tough
no
shot.
Good. Gets his own rebound.
Yeah,
they're going to call him for a foul.
Yep.
Yeah, they are. Well, you can't fault him for that. He's trying to make things happen.
Got to be aggressive. Just a second.
And Dane doesn't like that one either.
Dane's
not liking too much of anything he's seen in the last 10 minutes.
He's frustrated. I think what he wanted to see changed at halftime hasn't happened at this point.
Savely picking up Moore as we cross into 12 and a half minutes to go. Gets around him, does Moore. Goes on the baseline, Stinson. Tries to get her. Cuts off by Scott. Goes back outside. McCoy. He'll try it from about 10. That's no good. Rebound Arnold, and he gives him a fresh 35 to Wirtz.
That's his 5th rebound, already 2nd on the team, and he has not played that many minutes tonight.
Here's Stinson. Goes back outside Moore. He's at the free throw line. Screws ahead to Skinson on the left side. He'll try it from about 10 on the baseline. Rims around and got it to go.
Dons have done a better job in terms of holding Indiana State to not as high percentage shots, but that's a costly turnover.
Well, he slipped, and Wirtz looks like he's going to have himself. Oh, he couldn't decide what he was going to do with it, and I believe it was just tipped in by Stinson, but it looks like white shots. Looked like white shirts may have had more to do with that than anything else. Stinson will get the bucket, and we have officials timeout, a full timeout. I'm guessing that's the case, so we'll be right back with more Mastodon basketball right after this.
What's up? The show's a 7. Whoa.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Dons come out of the huddle trailing 50-35, still not quite figuring out what to do offensively, and on the defensive end, Ryan, it hasn't been much better.
No, Dean, this is dangerous times for them. They're down 15. I mean, I'm not sure. I've never experienced this going up for dunk and not know what to do. I don't know about you, but clearly Mariko Stenson, a great job of effort. You got 3 wide shirts, and, he's able to tip it in. But, sometimes the breaks are going your way, but if you're IPFW, look up, you're down 15, you better make your run now or it's going to be awful tough.
Yeah, that notwithstanding, they've dug this hole pretty much themselves. Perkins has the ball. Wirtz does a nice seal off of Best, and so that's not going to work, so they'll have to go outside to Carruthers.
Well, Dean, we talked about getting other people involved. We have not seen that this half. In fact, we have not even seen much offensive at all from the Dons 7-8 minutes into this.
Lepper has checked into the game now, so we're seeing him for the first time.
He's the guy that can shoot the ball.
He's got to get open, and right now he's trying to. Here's Perkins trying a long bomb, and he got it. That's a triple. Now that brings it back to a 12-point situation with 11:18 to go.
Yeah, first points of the night for Perkins, and that's exactly what you want coming out of that timeout.
Something positive. Now you need something positive on this end. Moore to Arnold. Trudeau goes up top, looks low for Arnold, has him, Burrows is on him. Let's see if it does work on it.
Stenson's had the hot hand, and he's on the bench right now, so that they catch a break there.
Here's Wirtz, guarded by Best, trying to get a cutter. Doesn't have him. Says, forget it, let's go back outside to Moore and reset. Sets a screen for him. Moore goes all the way around, feeds it into the lane. It's grabbed out of there. Arnold puts it up left-handed. It is no good, and he is fouled.
And who's there? He just always has a knack of being in the right spot at the right time.
They're going to call it on Burrows. And he's getting a little talking to right now. And we have another timeout called by the Dons this time, or is this the official one?
No, this is, I believe this is Dane Fife taking a timeout to chew out Jerron Burrows.
Okay, well, while he does that, we'll be back with more Mastodon basketball right after. Okay, they want us to keep it here. They're thinking it's a 30, so we'll see.
Jerron Burrows would like to get back on the court right now, and that's all about the teaching process.
Jerron Burrows would like to hide right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's a reason we talked about before why we haven't seen him much. I think that he's a very talented kid, but you see what the effects of not being in the right spot down here.
Now, if you're Dane Fife and you've done a little coaching, what are you telling these kids right now?
Well, when you're frustrated, you're fighting that off, but you've got to get the execution. It looks like right here he's drawing up the defensive effort here, how they're picking and rolling and sending the guy down. But you've got to get your guys. You know what you want to tell them, but to get them to do it is the frustrating part.
Well, the execution right now, as we could have seen for the better part of about 12 playing minutes right now, has not been stellar, and they just have not battened it down defensively. Now, granted, you may have a few mismatches that they don't like on the front line with some of the bulk we're seeing from the guys like Wirtz and Tunnel. But that notwithstanding, they're letting the guards kind of roam a little too much too, and they're letting they're allowed to let things set up. And right now, a little bit of a meltdown on the defensive side.
Well, Mariko Stenson's a guy who barely scored in the first half, and he's now 3 points away from being the leading scorer for Indiana State. He's done that through hustle and penetration, and now you've got Adam Arnold at the line, and when you come back down, you need a good, solid possession. He almost looked like he was drawing up that play where the two big men, when IPFW gets it back, if they try and get a little pick and roll going, but what they want for sure is a good-looking shot.
Royce Weltman a little bit happier with his team right now than he was in the early go. Adam Arnold will have one more, and he drops his 5th point of the game of the night and puts the lead back up to 14 at 52-38. Perkins, picked up by Moore, gets a screen. He'll try the triple. That's no good. Comes right to Best. You got to put it right back up. Gets inside Burrows instead. Good.
Well, you notice he leaves Burrows in. He wasn't happy with him, but it's a good job of coaching by Dane Fife. Let him know what the kid did wrong and then put him right back out.
And let him get some confidence. Good point. Moore. Arnold, guarded by Best. Up ball, takes him a couple of times, comes into the lane, lays it up. That's no good. Gets his own rebound, and we have a tie-up.
That's going to go to Indiana State. I think IPFW had it right off the bat.
Well, and Adam Arnold made that play happen. He's going to come out now, and Tunnel's going to come back in. Arnold will do that for you.
I would hate to guard him if you're out there. He is just all over the floor.
And he'll beat you up.
And he'll beat you up. You'll leave black and blue.
Tunnel. Next to Wirtz now. On the give to Moore. Comes into the lane. Runner tried up, no good. Tip up, no good. And the rebound out of there by Burrows. Up to Perkins. Dons want to run. Here he comes up the right wing. He'll stop.
He's
He'll
got
pop.
the hot hand.
He doesn't get it. Ball batted out of bounds.
Catch
Belongs
a break.
to Dons. Burrows hustled again.
Quick trigger there, but you kind of get the sense that Perkins is feeling where he's got the hot hand. We watch Royce Waltman in front of us, not real happy right now.
Well, he's right. There wasn't a lot of help on that defensive end. 5:53 or 9:53, we should say, to go in the game. Egrick into the game now as Burrows is sat down. Perkins has it back to Egrick. Z's going to try a triple.
He can hit that.
He does not get it. Almost got a friendly roll, but not quite.
Nobody crashing the boards. That's frustrating.
Well, Wirtz was all alone. You're right. Moore, guarded by Perkins. Now back in the game is McCoy. Here is Tunnel trying a long bomb. That's no good. And the rebound out of there by Lepper. Hands it off to Carruthers, who hands it off to Perkins. Dons need to probably get it up, going a little quicker on the offensive.
IPFW has slowly held Indiana State now to less than 50% for the game, which means they're holding them, but they're not getting it done offensively. Moore wants to. Yeah, he's tired right now. He's asked to come out of the game.
This is the time the Dons have to make a move. Carruthers almost lost control of the basketball. Goes to the baseline, cut off, back outside to Egrick, to Lepper, gets a screen from Egrick. Almost lost the ball. Here's Z faking into the lane, and we're going to call a hold, and I think they called that hold just before Zeke palmed it.
That could have been a travel right there.
And what did they call that on? Okay, they called that one on Wirtz. So the hold is on him, and the Dons have the basketball back with 9:02 to go.
Got to find something to get going here offensively, Dean. They just have not, and that's a
good
start.
That'll work.
That will work. Great looking pass from the big man inside of Carruthers.
But the play is Carruthers because he's making the move to the hole.
Yeah.
That's 16 for Q right now.
But now you got to carry it over defensively. Get a stop, get the ball back.
Wirtz guarded by Zelko. Tries to hook it over Zelko. Does it. Nice positive move to the basket.
Hard to fault Zelko there. I mean, that's a tough bucket, and he's now got 18 on the night, does Wirtz.
Now Lepper hands it off to Zelko. He doesn't know what he wants to do with it on the right side. Gives to Best. Inside, he had Carruthers, didn't see him. Back outside, Zelko will try the triple. He doesn't get this one. I think that's a song we don't need to sing much more.
No, after that one game where he hit, I believe it was 4 of them, yeah. He's now 0 for 4 on the night. And he's a guy, if you get the spot-up shot, that's fine. I think the shot we just saw there, where it's more of a jump shot behind the three-point arc, that's not what Coach Fife wants to see.
Zelko does get the inbound pass. Perkins comes into the lane, out to Lepper. He'll try the triple.
He can hit it.
He got it.
Good to see him get involved because he's one of the best shooters they've got up there from behind the arc.
Look what's happened here. We're back to a single-digit deficit.
Very quiet, back to 9 now.
Now the progress must continue. And we have a whistle inside. And we have Lepper called for a hold, and that will be Indiana State taking the basketball out of bounds. And, we would have won a 1 already? I guess. I'm kind of surprised that they piled up that quickly. But it will be a 1-on-1 situation.
And watching Coach Waltman in front of us really working the refs over in terms of the foul right there that they just called. So much happens in college basketball you don't see. And, how close they call it really impacts.
This is part of the game.
Yeah.
This is part of the game. Trudeau hits the first one. But they always keep it at a nice, civil level of conversation.
Yeah, sure they do.
To a degree.
To a degree.
Second was no good, and the Dons will have it down by 10. 7:56 to go. There is still time for this to happen. Plenty of time, but the Dons have got to start making some positive operations here. Lepper tries the bomb that's no good.
And that's not the shot they want.
Yeah, he was running. He wasn't even set. Here comes Indiana State.
Real good shooter, but a little quick on that trigger.
Out top. That is McCoy. Now he goes to Wirtz. He goes to work on Egrick. Loses control of the basketball, and Perkins takes it away. He's on the run. He'll stop. He'll pop. He doesn't get it, no good. Rims out. Rebound on the floor to Lepper. Fresh shot clock. Perkins.
Now you want to reset. Take your time. Get a good shot here. Plenty of time left.
Yeah, but it needs to be a positive trip. Here's Perkins. Outside, Lepper. That's no good. Rebound on the ground. That is taken out and up and no good.
Dean, I get the sense that the coaching staff talked to Lepper at halftime because he's really come out with a quick trigger where I think he wanted him to have that. He didn't take a single shot in his few minutes in the first half.
And we have an officials timeout with 7:06 to go here in the ballgame. 55-45 Indiana State. Back with more Mastodon basketball action right after this.
Kent Horman with an IPFW Mastodon Minute. The women's volleyball team capped off a fabulous season, winning the independent championship at North Dakota State. The Dons defeated Texas Pan American, North Dakota State, and Utah Valley State on their way to the title. Freshman Rebecca Ream was named the tournament's most valuable player, and Sonara Martins joined her on the all-tournament team. IPFW finished a great year at 26-10. The women's basketball team opened with a 66-55 victory over Toledo last Saturday at the Gates Center. They'll play at the Carolina Classic at UNC Asheville this weekend. The men's basketball team fell in their home opener, losing to Valparaiso 75-67 Monday at the Coliseum. IPFW continues its homestand Wednesday against Rochester College. Then Indiana State visits the Coliseum Sunday for homecoming. Tip-off is 4 p.m. With this IPFW Mastodon Minute, I'm Kent Horman.
Dean, that's textbook right there.
That's the way it's supposed to be done. That's the way they draw it up. Now if we can have about 4 or 5 more possessions like that, we'll be just fine. 55-45 Sycamores. You made a comment in the off while we were away, Ryan, and I think it's very true. This is an Indiana State team, not only better than the one that the IPFW beat last year, but better than the team we saw from Valparaiso.
They are. You know, Valparaiso's a good team. They do a lot of good things well, and they're young. But this, to me, is just another notch or two ahead at the Division I level, and a team that's going to compete in a very tough Missouri Valley Conference.
Nice give and go. And
now they draw that up. It doesn't always work that way. Good quick screen.
Back with an 8. And Zelko has 4 points.
Dons are showing a lot of fight like here. They could get right back in this. They'll just need to get a few defensive stops.
Carruthers covering McCoy. Tries to go in low to Arnold, and Zelko's on his back. So Arnold will go to the line, and you know what? You know what's when the guy is having as much trouble with the line as he is, this may not be a bad trade.
Yeah. Well, he hit his last 2, 3 for 4 on the game, but you get the sense the refs, after hearing it, they start looking for calls, and we're seeing, I don't know about touch fouls on each side, but clearly the last 2 against IPFW have not been, certainly not harmful fouls.
Now, we said Arnold was having trouble, only a 50% free throw shooter coming in, but now he's at 4 or 5, so that's the end of that thought. Burroughs is going to come back in. He was doing a good, strong job, and he will come in for Eggerick.
I think Dane Fife knows they have to have his athleticism in there to compete with guys like Arnold and Wirtz inside, who's out now, that are just very athletic big men.
Jumping ability and the wingspan is also a nice contributing factor there. Arnold with 6 points, looking for number 7. That is no good. And rebound out of there by Burroughs, who didn't quite like the fact that McCoy was on his back and gave him a little elbow to say, go away.
I think this is the biggest possession they've had to this point. Under 7 minutes to go, down by 9.
Carruthers playing away, partially blocked on a nice defensive play by McCoy.
Yeah, big-time defense right there.
Here's Moore back in. I don't think we'll see him leave the floor the rest of the way. No whistle.
Tunnel's hurt.
And we also have a turnover.
That's the 12th on Indiana State. IPFW has 10 on the game, so both teams a few more than they might want.
But not a lot. I mean, it hasn't really been sloppy.
No, most of those actually in the first 7 or 8 minutes of the game.
Let's see if the Dons can have another positive trip. Need a few more of these. Got to start stringing a few of these together. Here's Carruthers. Had an opening for a moment, didn't take it.
2
Burroughs,
guys on him right away.
Perkins, Best on the give to Carruthers. Wants it back. Tyler wants it back. And we have a whistle and foul called on, I would guess, McCoy.
Yeah, he was certainly the one arguing out there. But if you're going to call that at one end, I think you've got to call it at the other. And they've certainly called it a little tighter the second half.
Trudeau comes in for McCoy as he walks out. Dane Fife just saying, okay, what do my guys have next that can be positive? And it's got to be on the offensive end. Perkins, 6 minute mark to go.
If they can find a way to free up DeWitt Scott here,
he's working hard to get open. And Moore's working just as hard to make sure he's not. Into Best. He backs him down. He's backing it down. He's putting it in.
He will hit about 80%.
I'll tell you what, that's the guy that's the key. If they can feed him in, because if for some reason or other they're not doubling down on him, and Royce Waltman knows it.
We're down to 7.
56-49. This will be a 30. So let's see. We'll take a break and come back with more Mastodon basketball right after this.
They not have a man.
That boat was all right. You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales, you're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Don's down 7 and with the basketball.
Dean, I think it's official. We've got a little momentum change here if they can continue this.
Burrows passes on the shot, hands to Perkins. Loses control. Perkins gets it back. Burrows on the drive is baseline. Perkins back outside. Bad pass.
Just got caught in no man's land down there.
Stinson took it away from him. He's doubled away 1 on 2.
They get it right back.
And he threw it away himself. At best picks it up. Dons need to be more careful. Calm it down. You have time. Just under 5 to go. Carruthers posting Burrows. Gets a use from screen. Puts it up. Lays it off to Best. Caught himself no hands. Best spins around. Reverses and pushes. No good.
Well,
beautiful play. Beautiful play.
Yeah. Well, he's gone to the middle almost every time, and this time he spun the opposite way. And surprise tunnel for sure, but he got the foul first.
It must have been before he got under for the reverse, because if Tunnel got him on the shot, that would be and one.
It's unfortunate. I think Dane 5 would rather not. That would not have been called because I don't think anybody was stopping him underneath.
Tunnel has to go out with his 4th personal foul. So Best will go to the line. Tyler has not exactly filled it up tonight. He has 8 points. He has not been to the line yet. Number 1, good.
Yeah, Don's 4 of 8 on the line, which just 50%. But right now, throw out the percentages, suddenly you're back within 6.
And we can be within 5 if he can drop the other one. Need to get the crowd into it.
Yeah, they have. I've noticed.
Well, they do to keep it going now if they can keep this surge moving. And Best is, boy, that didn't want to go.
Nope.
But it did, and the Dons are within 5.
Dane 5 talked about
Let's have some fun now.
Finding a way to win,
441.
and they need to stop right here.
Here's Moore, and boy, the fans are eating into it now.
Loudest they've been all night.
Arnold, out there is Burrows with him. Moore looks inside, has McCoy. He goes off, no good. Tried to junk it, and it's Burrows with the rebound.
Missed the dunk.
Dons can get within 3, 2 with a triple. Here is Scott on the baseline, puts it up.
And got it. Boy,
I'll tell you what. All the damage Scott has been doing is on the perimeter. That's the best inside move I've seen this season from him.
Excellent drive from him. Good body control and a big-time bucket.
And this can be a 2-point game if he can drop the free throw.
Well, let's not forget, Dean, 6 minutes ago, this team's down 15, and we're saying they're about ready to be buried if they don't make their run. And from that point on, they've just been a different basketball team.
Now you got them down, put the foot on the throat, and put it down further.
Absolutely.
Got it.
2-point lead.
Got to have. DeWitt Scott in the postgame the other night said, we have to learn to finish. Quentin Carruthers said, we need to learn to finish. We are here.
This has been a 19-6 run over the last 6 minutes.
Here is Moore to Arnold. Burrows on him. Goes to Wirtz. Goes to work on Best. Back outside Arnold. Moore guarded by Perkins. Cutting through is McCoy. Goes to Arnold. Goes to work around Burrows. Scoops around Burrows. He traveled with the basketball. We can tie the ball game here.
That is the 14th turnover.
And we have a timeout. 56-54. The Dons are back within 2. Back with more Mastodon basketball action right after this.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's what life's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Well, here's IPFW running transition. And Dean, this is exactly what we were talking about. Perkins gets the ball ahead, and DeWitt Scott, we know he can do it outside, but watch how he uses his body, gets inside, gets fouled by not one but two guys, and that's the shades of Michael Jordan hanging in the air.
The move I like best out of that whole move is taking it back over so it can't be blocked. Dons with a chance to tie with 3:45 to go in the game. Perkins gets to Burrows. Guarded out there by Arnold. Perkins has it back. Scott working the baseline, trying to get open. Goes low to Best.
You got a set play drawn up at halftime. It looks like they're probably going to have to go to the motion.
He wants a clear out. He wants a clear out. He's going up. He's going in. Oh! It was there. It was right there.
Boy, I can't believe Indiana State went for the charge there.
And nobody's coming over to help, which I can't believe. Trudeau goes around Carruthers, and he's fouled by Carruthers. Q got beat. He got beat. And that's going to happen. Hold, and we'll have a one-on-one. Oh, man, Ryan, that was it. That was it right there.
That shot drops, and you're still fine at this point, but it's just one of those bounces. I think, 8 out of 10 times he's going to put that down.
So here is Trudeau to try his first, and he got it on the roll. Not the guy, well, actually, free throw-wise, he's not supposed to be that good, only 1 of 3, but
2 of 3 tonight.
We don't need to worry about that because he's hit them both here. 4-point game again.
Yeah, you need a good possession. A lot of time left, 3 minutes.
Do the things you've been doing the last 5 minutes and keep going to them. Burke.
But I like these 5 that are on the floor. I think they can all do damage offensively.
This might end up being your 5 before the year is out. Burrows, guarded there by Arnold, goes around him and fouled by Arnold.
They don't have many guys, I don't think, that match up with Jerron Burrows. Now, he's not a guy that he's a little timid because that's how you are when you're new to a program. But I think as the year progresses, you'll see him do more moves like that where he's taking it right to the hole.
Well, and once he gets more confidence in the offensive play that he has and going to the hole and seeing shots drop, he will become a much more impressive player. And that's why I say the group out here right now may end up being your starting 5 before the year is out.
Now, one thing he has not been good tonight is from the foul line, but he knocks that one down.
Got to hit him when you have him.
That's right.
And you hit him when you have to. And he did. 2:54 to go. He can bring the Dons back within a bucket. And there is the second one.
This is setting up for a very good finish at the Coliseum.
2:52 to go. Dons down 2. What did you say? They're down 15 at one point?
They were down 50 to 35.
That's right. Wirtz guarded by Best. Moore cut through it, didn't get it open. Well, they left Wirtz open, and that time he made sure of the damage out. Somebody just didn't come over to help.
Yeah, that's where you got to have help because he's clearly a big-time player.
Carruthers almost lost the basketball. Goes to Burrows. Burrows found the baseline, says no, sets a screen, gives it to Carruthers, who spins through, puts it up. No, but he's going to draw the foul.
Go to the floor, shoot 1-on-1.
Okay, this is all well and good. You get yourself to the line and shoot without time clock running, but if you don't get a stop down there and let a guy drive right down the middle like they did Wirtz on that last possession, it's all for naught.
You know what's interesting, too, Dean? On this end, you got Wirtz who wants it. You go down here and it's Carruthers. I mean, the big-time players, this is their time where they're going to put the team on their back. Don can't even stand up after all this. He's laying down.
Well, those tusks are heavy. All right, Wirtz is going to either going to come out or something. I think he must need something.
Somebody's got some blood. I know that. Best has some blood on the back of his jersey.
Wirtz has got the cut. They're treating him right now. He's holding something to his arm. We're seeing Dane Fife talk to Best and probably giving him a little bit of instruction. He's listening. He's not. He may be looking outside, but he's listening. And Tyler's not the kind of guy that's just going to blow off what the coach says.
Yeah, and Wirtz is going to have to come out. They'll put the blood treatment on. He'll be back in probably if he hits the first one before the second shot's even taken.
Well, this is where the trainer earns his money.
Yeah.
So the Dons with 2:24 to go, and they will substitute for Wirtz as he has worked on. And I don't know why they're taking. This would not be the time. If I were Dane Fife, this would not be the time. Are they ruling that the best has to come out?
He's got blood on his shirt.
Yeah, he does. I don't understand this. Lepper's coming in, but who's he coming in for? Who did you see who he came in for?
Well, I would assume it would be for Best, but apparently that's not the case.
Best is out there on the floor with a bloody jersey.
Whatever happened for IPFW, you've got the shooter you want at the line.
And Wirtz is either ready to come in or needing more treatment. I guess he can come in. Well, he's not over here at the bench to check in. Lepper's going to shoot the free throw.
And Quentin Carruthers is the guy that's out of the game for now.
Oh. Boy, that's not kind of surprising.
Yeah,
Lepper's a good shooter.
That's the guy they'd want at the line.
You're right, Carruthers is the one out. I guess they want him out there for about 30 seconds to get his breath. And
he might have blood on him as well. I'd be real surprised they'd take him out.
Lepper hit the other one. So the Dons are within 3 at 60-57.
Need a stop. Wirtz checking back in, and I'm sure within minutes you'll see Quentin Carruthers as well.
Lepper's 4th point. You're right, Wirtz is right there. Arnold gets it on a cross to McCoy. Guard out there by Scott. Comes with a left-handed dribble once, almost dragged it, giving it off to Arnold.
No easy buckets
17
here.
seconds on the shot clock, 2:04 left in the game. Moore, picked up by Perkins. Gonna have to get rid of it. He does, gets it to Wirtz, and we have a whistle and a foul on Lepper. With 1:58 to go.
Well, it's too bad, because they were in great position for that.
Well, Carruthers looks like he's about ready to check back in. He's getting some last-minute instructions. I have to admit, I am really shocked that they're letting Best out there with the bloody jersey.
Yeah, I'm surprised they, usually they'll make you come and change that.
Yeah. And Carruthers is going to wear number 52 when he comes back in.
Apparently he had some blood on there as well.
It must have been a lot more than Best.
Well, that's the only way he's taking him out in that stage of the game.
Tunnel hits the first free throw, makes it a 4-point game, and now Wirtz checks in, and Carruthers checks in, and Lepper comes out, and Arnold comes out. Tunnel back to the line. He has 8 points. He is 2 of 3 from the line.
Maybe Indiana State will lose it now that he's got a different jersey. Big free throw here.
He got it. They have been pretty good there. 14,
this
15
becomes
to
a very
21.
big possession for them now, down 5.
Got to make it count because time is of the essence. Minute 52 to go in the game. Perkins yo-yos between his legs, goes to the new 52 Carruthers.
Burroughs was open.
Best. Here is Perkins. Carruthers into the lane, stops short, gives to Best. A little too much time being taken on this possession, probably.
DeWitt Scott trying to free himself up.
And he is fouled. Yeah. They got bailed out. He was in no man's land again.
Royce Waltman hit one of our monitors over here. He went nuts when he saw the call.
Well, I'm not sure he's so upset with the official's call is that his players probably shouldn't have made that little slap because it was what they call a lazy foul, the really slap
really
top.
was because they had him in a position where DeWitt Scott, as tough as he is from
done.
outside,
he was cooked.
Wasn't going to score from there.
And he wasn't going to get it to anybody because he was surrounded. But he's going to the line right now and getting it down for his 14th point.
Yeah, Don's 10 out of 15 on the line. They've hit some real big ones down the stretch here.
Witt will dip and deliver to make it a 3-point game, and it
That's a
doesn't
big
work.
miss.
So they stay down 4, and now got to play some defense. Perkins picks
Royce
up more.
Waltman, they're going to pull it out into basically some kind of a wheel, which means they're going to wait until the final 5 or 6 seconds. I'd be surprised if
I'm
they
not
don't
sure
shoot
the Dons
before
can
that.
wait that long to not pressure the issue a little bit. Moore out to Perkins,
I don't think
who
you
is now
foul
pressing
here,
the issue
yeah,
a little bit.
But I think
Carruthers
you get out on him.
picking up McCoy. Low.
And
tunnel.
this is a disciplined basketball team.
Yep, and there's a disciplined move, and that's how you get things
Not
working out
only do you
with Moore.
score, you take 30 seconds to do it.
Now you got to start putting some shots up fast. Here's Perkins into the lane, puts one off glass, no good. Tries to tip, no good, and they're going to call him over the back. And we will have Indiana State shooting free throws with 57.5 seconds left.
Dean, there's a lot of time left, I think a minute left, but you start to see what Dane Fife's talking about. You got to find a way to win. And it's a similar trait to what happened in the Valpo game. 1 or 2 plays down the stretch when it was a 2-point game with about 2 minutes left. It's those 1 or 2 plays that really make a difference.
Well, they were right at the summit, and when that shot by Best didn't go, that seemed to tilt this thing the other way.
Yeah,
and Indiana
I think that
State's
was the shot.
been able to make things a little bit more their way since then. Shot up by Trudeau is back of the rim, no good. This isn't over yet, but the Dons have to get down and get shots quickly and then play defense like they haven't probably played it all year.
Yeah, they don't need a three. They just need a quick bucket here and get back on D.
Number 2 for Trudeau. Looking for his 10th point. Didn't get either one.
Those are 2 big misses.
All right, but you got to move it. Here comes Tyler. Gets it up to Carruthers. They got to get a shot down quick. And Tyler Clinton's going to the back, and he lost the ball. Wertzman Best ties it up, but he apparently got a piece of the arm on the way. And we will have Wirtz going to the line. Well, Tyler was doing what he had to do. He had to reach in there, try and get the tie up.
Yeah, it's a good foul. You know, you unfortunately foul Wirtz, but it's interesting who gets the steal. It's Wirtz, a guy that not only does it the offensive end, but he's just one of those guys that's going to find a way to get in your way.
Well, it's gotten to the point now where the Dons are probably feeling the urgency with 48.1 that something has to happen quickly, and they tried to make it happen maybe before it was ready to happen.
Wirtz 4 out of 5 on the line. They'll get the double bonus now.
No good.
Well, they've done their best to keep him at it, missing 3 in a row.
They're leaving the door open. Wirtz has had a heck of a game, especially second half. He has 20 points. And by my count,
he missed them both.
He had 10 in the first half.
Don's still with life. They need a quick bucket here.
They got to move. Best. Gives it to
Scott.
Scott. He wants the triple. No good. Rebound, Wirtz, who throws it up. Out of bounds. It goes to Indiana State, should. At least what I saw, and the official agrees with me.
A little indecisiveness on the call. You know, there
wasn't any indecisiveness with this one right here, though. So 33.7 left, and I'd say if Indiana State can one here before the Dons, we have a.
They're going to get DeWitt
on
Scott
the inbound on Scott.
Those aren't bad fouls, though.
No, no time left.
No time off.
But sooner or later, Indiana State's going to start hitting some of these free throws. I mean, this would essentially be a done deal right now if they'd hit some of the free throws they'd had. Was Moore the guy that was actually fouled?
He was, yeah.
Okay. I was watching the inbound play. He must have been the guy that was the foul away from the ball.
In fact, he was hammered.
He only has 4 points.
It's his first free throw of the night.
Yeah. This is their go-to guy. He doesn't do it with scoring. He does it with playmaking, and he has done it that way tonight. They missed 5 free throws.
You know, and if he misses this one, you're only 2 possessions out of this.
Yep. Got it.
That's big free throw.
It's still 2 possessions, but now they need some triples. Actually, no, it's 3 points.
Yeah, now Dane 5 gets a 30-second break, and, you know, now you're shooting for a quick 3, and look who's checking in. No surprise there.
Well, you're gonna load up now. Yeah. But and don't you think that the boys in blue from Indiana State are also going to guard that perimeter with their life?
Yeah, I think the one thing Royce Waltman's telling them, don't foul. You know, play good defense and don't foul right here.
And if you're Dane Fife, you're trying to find a way to isolate one guy or 2 guys with different situations where you will have at least a look at a somewhat open 3, because you're not going to have a grotesquely open 3 at this point. Indiana State knows better.
You know, I think I draw it up. It looks like they're trying to get it off either wing. Lepper's not a bad guy. You know, they're going to look to Carruthers. They're going to look to DeWitt Scott. I think any of those 3 guys, and if you take a quick 2, you've still got 30 seconds, but you got to foul fast.
And I'd throw Perkins in that mix as well.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to have to happen quickly if it's going to happen. 65-58, 33.7 left here at the Coliseum. Here's Perkins, gets it into the forecourt quickly. Leppert running to an open spot. He doesn't have it. Here's Scott. He's stubbed in the backcourt. Here's Burrows taking it out. Outside Lepper. He's going to try the 3. Got it with 22.1 left.
That's the guy you want.
Okay, now it's a 4-point game.
You know, Dean, that was a bit of a broken play because Jerron Burrows was supposed to set a screen that didn't happen. They were lucky to not lose the ball, but it turns out, you know, they lose track of Lepper outside, and all of a sudden you're down 4.
Well, still, got to have a stop real quick. And here's the move in the end, the kick to Burrows.
Nice decision right there. Really good decision.
And
no
one's
within 10 feet of him.
And there it is, and I believe they call that nothing but nylon.
That is nothing but nylon.
65-61. Dons, after this, will head to Western Illinois on Tuesday for a 7 o'clock game Central Time, which is 8 o'clock our time. They'll be back here at the Coliseum next Saturday night to play IUPUI in a sort of a mid-con preview.
Dane Fife's got his defensive team in there. He's got Savely trying to get a foul on Moore, or a quick steal, even better.
And then on the 29th, they head to Cape Girardeau, Missouri to take on SEMO. But right now it's Indiana State they worry about. With 20.5 left, they foul Wirtz in the backcourt.
And you won't see too many teams. They're trying to get the ball to their 6-8 men for the foul shots, but that's exactly what Indiana State will do.
Well, the thing is, he's the kind of guy that can go back there and help on the press, and he's not a bad ball handler. He's a good all-around player.
Yeah, he really is.
and to my mind has been the best man on the floor tonight. And he gets the free throw. 66-61. Now this becomes a little tough.
Yeah, but even now you're a two-possession game. Now I think you're at the point where if you realistically have a shot, you better put up a three pretty quick.
So Indiana State, Royce Weltman making his adjustments on his defense as Wirtz tries the next one and didn't get that one.
Well, now you can go 2 or 3, but I think 3 gets you good.
You better pop it quick. You better pop it quick. All right,
good ball
you're
movement.
Open to, Scott,
That's
4-3.
a good look.
No look, not working that time, and Moore gets the rebound.
That's about as good a look as you're going to get at this stage of the game.
Well,
that's the guy you want.
And when it comes flying out of there that straight, you know you had it dead on.
Yeah.
They're not all going to fall.
Well, Royce Weltman just asked, whose man is that? I mean, he knows that was too good a look.
But with 8.1 left, that'll send Moore to the line, and I would say he seals it if he knocks these down.
Yeah, even without those, it's pretty tough with 8.1. The Dons have a lot to build on this game, but I think Coach Fife will remind him it's the little things, the play here, the play there in the final minutes. They did a great job of coming from 15 down. And Indiana State could certainly work on their foul shooting in the final minutes.
I would imagine that will be addressed when they get back to Terre Haute. But they're also going to look at this as a win and a nice effort, especially in the second half. He hit the second one. Moore gets it up to a 6-point total for himself, and now the time will tick down, and Perkins will take it in. They're going to let him pretty much go all the way. He's going to try a three. Didn't get it. Tip up, no good. And the tip up, no good, and that's a buzzer. And that's a ball game. 67-61, Indiana State, the winner over IPFW here at the Coliseum on homecoming night. And we'll be back with more Mastodon basketball action right after this.
I'm Kent Horman with an IPFW Mastodon Minute. The women's volleyball team capped off a fabulous season, winning the independent championship at North Dakota State. The Dons defeated Texas Pan American, North Dakota State, and Utah Valley State on their way to the title. Freshman Rebecca Ream was named the tournament's most valuable player, and Sonara Martins joined her on the all-tournament team. IPFW finished a great year at 26-10. The women's basketball team opened with a 66-55 victory over Toledo last Saturday at the Gates Center. They'll play at the Carolina Classic at UNC Asheville this weekend. The men's basketball team fell in their home opener, losing to Valparaiso 75-67 Monday at the Coliseum. IPFW continues its homestand Wednesday against Rochester College. Then Indiana State visits the Coliseum Sunday for homecoming. Tip-off is 4 p.m. With this IPFW Mastodon Minute, I'm Kent Horman.
The return here to the Coliseum, the homecoming king and queen, or at least the king.
Yeah, that's right.
As the queen may have abdicated and gone home. But the final is 67-61 Indiana State over IPFW as the Dons had a chance, got off to a good start, fell behind 15 in the second half, made a great run, and saw the potential tying hoop just roll tantalizingly off the rim there by Tyler Best in the late going. And then Indiana State, although they tried real hard to let the Dons in,
they sure did.
Absolutely abysmal free throw shooting.
You know, Dean, what's interesting, I felt it was more their offense that hurt them in the second half. We talked about them getting beat badly.
By the way,
boards.
the Queen has not left.
The Queen is still there. Okay. Of course she wouldn't leave. 38-32 is the final boards. They do a good job defensively. They hold Indiana State well under 50% in the second half, but it just feels like the open shots they couldn't get to go down. They made a great run to get it to 2, but then like a good team will, I think it was more in the final 3 minutes Indiana State won the game than IPFW lost it. They just stepped up.
Well, and like I said, we go back and we hate to go over and over and over again, but that shot by Best, if that goes, I'm wondering if this isn't a different game.
Absolutely.
Because the momentum was there. They were feeding off of it. You could see that they were beginning to feel that they could get something done here. And, you know, momentum and adrenaline is everything, and I think in both cases they sort of like went out the door for IPFW.
It's almost too bad that timeout hit at the 4-minute mark where IPFW had all the emotion, they had the crowd going, and they had to take that TV timeout. You know, and a quick trip already from one of the coaching staff over to talk to us now as well.
Well, and Jeff Tungate will step on in here real quick, so we'll get him in here. Dons lose at 67-61, and Jeff sits in right here, and we hand him the mic. And, you know, it gets back to the old thing, Jeff. You want to get the finish, and the finish was not there.
No, I know that's something we talked about earlier. We just got to learn to finish the basketball game. And, you know, I thought the first half, our defensive effort was really poor in the first half. We had to battle back the whole night. And we can't spot teams 6, 7, 8 point leads because because of our defense. And I thought the second half we kept clawing back. We just couldn't get that big play or that big stop to get over the hump.
Jeff, it seemed like you made the adjustments defensively and played so much better in the second half, but there were just those open looks that you couldn't get to go down in the final 3 minutes or so. Take us through the last 3 minutes. You get it to 2, you come back from 15 down, and then, in my opinion, Worst just kind of stepped up on the other end.
He really did. I mean, he made, good players make good plays down the stretch, and he did. We had a tough time stopping him, and we knew he was going to drive, and he went in for uncontested drives. We didn't have anyone there to take a charge. We didn't keep him out of the lane on the drives, and he stepped up big. Down the stretch, I thought we got some decent looks, but just couldn't knock down that big shot, and that's something we have to learn to do. But, again, it all boils down to we can't spot teams, especially teams like Indiana State out of the Missouri Valley. We can't spot them that kind of lead and expect to come back.
What was the adjustment that you could see they made where they got that 15-point lead? It wasn't so much you guys letting it get away from you as they seemed to grab it with Wirtz, and something went wrong there. Could you detect what it was?
Well, I think they know they got the ball to the right guy at the right time in the right spot. And that's something that we still struggle to do, and we're still trying to figure out who that guy is for us. I think it's Tyler, and Tyler really stepped up in the second half for us and played well. But, I thought they did a really good job of knowing who to get the ball to, at what spot on the floor he could do something with it and really attack us. And that's something we got to do a better job. I mean, we're a three-point shooting team, and come down the stretch, it's hard to get a three-point shot and expect to hit a three-point shot to take a lead or to come back or to win. Everything they did was to get to the basket, get to the foul line, and we rely on that jumper so much that we've got to do something where we can get to the foul line a little bit more and get a more of a mid-range game. I mean, we took 25 threes again tonight, and you're not going to come back and win basketball games shooting that many threes.
How frustrating is it? You've had a Valpo team here, an Indiana State team, two good Division I programs that you had a chance to beat. And you look now, you're 1-3, but you've played them both tough. What message do you send to the guys right now?
Well, whether you lose by 2, 4, 6, or 40, I mean, you still lose. But, it's something that I hope we can learn from and realize that we can compete with anybody. I mean, we've got the ability to compete with anybody. I mean, we've played some of the premier teams in the state of Indiana, obviously, and we've been right there down the stretch. But we've just got to take that next step and learn how to win. And until we learn how to win, it's going to be a struggle. But we've really got to learn with 3 minutes to go and expect to win basketball games, and we're not there yet.
Well, you see what happens at Western Illinois on Tuesday. Jeff, good luck, and we'll see you down the road.
Thank you.
Thank you much. Jeff Tungate, assistant basketball coach at IPFW, with some final thoughts from the coaches on the 67-61 loss by IPFW today to Indiana State. Back with more Mastodon basketball right after this.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best.
I made you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Life is good, but with a master's degree from IPFW, it could be even better. You could land a promotion, earn more money, become a leader in your field. And IPFW makes it easy. With affordable tuition, night and weekend classes, and more than 20 graduate programs from business to education to public affairs and more. Become the master of your future. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. Your graduate university.
I'm Kent Horman with an IPFW Mastodon Minute. The women's volleyball team capped off a fabulous season, winning the independent championship at North Dakota State. The Dons defeated Texas Pan American, North Dakota State, and Utah Valley State on their way to the title. Freshman Rebecca Ream was named the tournament's most valuable player, and Sonara Martins joined her on the all-tournament team. IPFW finished a great year at 26-10. The women's basketball team opened with a 66-55 victory over Toledo last Saturday at the Gates Center. They'll play at the Carolina Classic at UNC Asheville this weekend. The men's basketball team fell in their home opener, losing to Valparaiso 75-67 Monday at the Coliseum. IPFW continues its homestand Wednesday against Rochester College. Then Indiana State visits the Coliseum Sunday for homecoming. Tip-off is 4 p.m. With this IPFW Mastodon Minute, I'm Kent Horman.
Back at the Coliseum where the Mastodons lose on homecoming night 67-61 to Indiana State in a game that they fought hard, had the lead in the first half, saw it go away, saw that lead really go away in the second half, and then come back within two, the Tyler Best roll-off where it just didn't work, and here's the key play.
Yeah, it was a good-looking shot, and this one goes down, but that was a similar shot where they couldn't hit. It was probably the bucket with 3 minutes to go. I think this is it. Just bounces off the back iron. And
oh, I thought it was the one we're talking about. Obviously, we're going to get into the hits here. Some nice, good shots here, but they were just some tantalizing shots that just didn't work. And there's a nice play by Burrows, and he showed some things tonight offensively that he hadn't shown before, and that will be a nice thing to add.
Yeah, the play of the night right here was Quentin Carruthers. And, Dean, I think if you talk to Coach Tungate, the one thing you take away, and it really hit me, was I don't care if we lose by 1 or 40. These guys want to win. It's not about a moral victory. They want to come out here and they want to win, and they felt like this was a team they could have beaten tonight, albeit with a very good performance, and they let them slip away.
Well, and the opportunities were there. It just didn't happen, and now, they have got to go in there and sell these kids on the opportunity that, you can go to a Western Illinois, again, another team that you're going to see in the Mid-Con down the road. You're going to have to play them on the road. You're going to have to start learning because you're going to go to that place every year from now until eternity as long as the Dons are in the Mid-Con. Get used to this and play in those tough environments, and they've got to now, again, start preaching, okay, finish, guys. We're overusing the word, but I don't think we can overuse it enough.
I don't think so.
You've got to finish. You've got to go in and get the job done, and that's when you go home and you go into that locker room with a smile on your face instead of the feeling they have right now.
We get a shot of Kyle Savely and John Burrows. No time to sulk. They're signing autographs already. Final numbers, the most impressive thing is the Sycamores come down to 50%. Only 3 of 12. They're going to have to find a way to replace the guy that got hurt for sure, but I think if you look at IPFW's number, the one thing that jumps out a little bit, 37%, and that's where I felt like they kind of on the offensive end is where they missed their chances.
As you look at it, Don's hit 500, or the Sycamores hit 50%. Don's 37%, the three-pointers. The Dons were doing them early, but didn't work late, especially when they needed to. And look, the rebounding situation got a little better, 38-32.
I think they hammered that home at halftime, and that's what's got to be frustrating for the losses. You work on the two things you want to do at halftime, defensive and rebounding, but it's the little things and the learning how to win that he talked about they've got to overcome.
Okay, we're going to take. We'll come back with some final numbers on points, but we'll take our final break. You're watching Mastodon basketball. We'll be right back.
Life is good, but with a master's degree from IPFW, it could be even better. You could land a promotion, earn more money, become a leader in your field, and IPFW makes it easy. With affordable tuition, night and weekend classes, and more than 20 graduate programs from business to education to public affairs and more. Become the master of your future. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne, your graduate university.
Pizza! I must eat. Wait, what is this? Capsicum anum? Agaricus bisporus? Allium cepa?
Can we eat this?
Peppers, mushrooms, and onions. Eat your pizza, man.
Funny.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
I'm Kent Horman with an IPFW Mastodon Minute. The women's volleyball team capped off a fabulous season, winning the independent championship at North Dakota State. The Dons defeated Texas Pan American, North Dakota State, and Utah Valley State on their way to the title. Freshman Rebecca Ream was named the tournament's most valuable player, and Sonara Martins joined her on the all-tournament team. IPFW finished a great year at 26-10. The women's basketball team opened with a 66-55 victory over Toledo last Saturday at the Gates Center. They'll play at the Carolina Classic at UNC Asheville this weekend. The men's basketball team fell in their home opener, losing to Valparaiso 75-67 Monday at the Coliseum. IPFW continues its homestand Wednesday against Rochester College. Then Indiana State visits the Coliseum Sunday for homecoming. Tip-off is 4 p.m. With this IPFW Mastodon Minute, I'm Kent Horman.
Back for a final time at the Coliseum, Dean Pantazzi and Ryan Elijah. Dons lose at 67-61. A situation where they were in a game that was catchable or winnable or whatever you want to call for about 3 or 4 different instances. never quite got it done, and now again they have to hit the road, and it will get tough, and they have to dig down.
Yeah, it's a measuring stick, Dean, and I think there were more positives than negatives. You know, for the coaching staff, they got to ram their heads into the wall trying to figure out how can we win these close games, but I think it's a guy like Wirtz. You know, it's a guy on your team that just simply refuses to lose.
They've got those guys, and the next men's basketball live event here on College 5 Sports will be men's basketball on Saturday. It will be a simulcast, and it will be IPFW and IUPUI with a very good situation for the Dons to bounce back there. Again, sandwiched in there will be the trip to Western Illinois on Tuesday, and the Dons will take off for there tomorrow and hopefully get some things done where they can come back in here and do some good things. So, again, the final score tonight, if we've got some final scoring up there, I believe we can just do that. There's the final score. Let's run down the point totals real quick. For the Dons, they're led by Carruthers with 14, Scott had 13, and Best had 10.
Most of that in the first half.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Mr. Wirtz being the thorn in the side of the Dons all night with 21 points. They had 13 from Stinson and 9 from Trudeau, and he was the guy that had to fill in with their big gun Holmstrom out with the stress fracture, and he did an admirable job of that. But just an overall nice gut check by Indiana State, if you got to give them some credit.
Absolutely.
Because that's what they did.
6.6 boards from Adam Arnold, too, who had his, not big numbers, but certainly made his presence felt out there.
So we are done for the night until we greet you again from here at the Coliseum on Saturday for IUPUI. Again, the final 67-61. Indiana State beats IPFW. We wish you a good night. We are glad you were with us.